players.
Jack Fletcher was added to the squad. Why hasn't he travelled out here?
Sorry?
Jack Fletcher, I believe he was added.
He didn't train with us, and he had a game before Fulham. We want some imagine Amas is today. Is here today. In the last game against Fulham, we want Amas also, but because he played all the game against Arsenal, he was not in our squad. We try to manage all the teams there and try to imagine the substitutions. And we know to bring some players is a big step, and we are taking care of the expectation of the kids.
Thank you.
Hi Ruben, it is quite a small squad and a relatively inexperienced squad in some parts. How much of a challenge is that for you, given how important the game is for you?
We have a lot of experience, and Mate is a young player, but he has a lot of experience, and we are ready because the good thing to play in Premier League, we are ready for everything. So it's a big challenge. We are going to face a very good team, really intense, with a lot of experience, international players. But we are ready because we face that teams every weekend.
Rob.
Hi Ruben, can I just ask about the two injured players, Harry Maguire and Manuel Ugarte? Are they long problems, or they're not going to be out for?
Small things. So we are being careful with because in this moment we cannot allow us to lose more players for a long time. So we are taking care of them in Carrington, and they cannot play this game because it will be a great risk.
Dave.
Hi Ruben. I think you said in your Sky interview yesterday, or whenever you did it, that you're building something bigger here than just winning a cup this season. But surely the here and now, this competition is vital for the future of the club, not least in terms of the financial aspect of it. It's worth up to maybe £100 million for the club if you go all the way and win this competition and get a Champions League place, but also in terms of attracting the very best players next season. So in that context, do you kind of understand or accept that it's so important for the club to win this competition?
That is clear. I think it's not the crucial thing for the future of the club. That is my view, and I'm here for 3 months, and I think that is clear. But I understand is a massive difference in our season, especially because we are out of the cups, in the bad position in the league. That could change a lot of things, even the way they see the coach. So I know that is a massive pressure. But I will say it again. Manchester United can have that can call all the best players even without Champions League in the future. We have to change a lot of things, and we're trying to do that. So I think that there is more important things than win cups in this moment. That is my feeling. But I understand that winning Europa League can change everything for us in the next season.
Hi Ruben, I know you've sort of addressed this, but was there any temptation to bring some of the academy players with you just in case you might need them in a match like this, or you just don't think that they're ready for this kind of occasion?
Again, I'm trying to, when I put the squad, I see the players that I have that train with us, and then I imagine the substitutions. That's why sometimes I call it 1 or 2, and then I'm trying to see if they train with us, and then I trying to see if they come here to play or to be on the bench for you guys to be like seeing a lot of youth. I'm trying to manage everything. I know that is a big step for them, and I'm trying to cope with everything. So when I do my squad, I trying to think in every aspect of the formation of a kid, our squad, and not what is going to look like really well with the fans and the media.
Hi Ruben, I just wonder for the likes of Josh, Rasmus and Alejandro, what needs to happen either for them or the team to really unlock them in terms of their goal scoring and to get them, you know, in better opportunities?
Sometimes there are things that is hard to explain. For example, before the last match, we had some games without opportunities and create chances, and that is impossible for them to score. So it's a team thing. But I felt like in the last game sometimes it's a luck. The way we kick the ball a little bit a meter more inside, we had opportunities to score. We didn't score. Sometimes it's really that's it. One thing is to create situations. We created in the last game, but in certain moments we need a little bit luck to score one, and then when you score one, you take out of the big pressure and you score 2 or 3 in the next games.
Matthias, can I just ask you as well, how are you settling into life in Manchester, and how do you compare kind of the scrutiny and the pressure on on the club and yourself compared to clubs you've been at, like Bayern Munich, Juventus, Ajax?
Yeah, I think I'm settling in really well. Obviously, been here now. What is it? Maybe 6-7 months also. I think we have a really nice team, really nice group. Obviously, the season until now is not what we expected. So yeah, with that comes a lot of pressure, a lot of criticism, what is normal in football, I think. And yeah, for me, it's not different because I've been in clubs where you have to win the title every year. So that's not something different than before. But obviously, being in the place where we are in the Premier League is quite different. But yeah, you have to keep going. You have to work hard and as a team improve, and then hopefully the results will come.
James.
Matthias, just following on from that, obviously you've come in at a time where it's probably been the most turbulent season the club have had in the Premier League era. Has it been a bit of a shock to the system for you at times, having to cope with what the team's been through?
I wouldn't call it a shock. What I said, obviously, you would have expected a little bit better the way it is at the moment. But yeah, it's the Premier League where you're playing in, and the Premier League is, you can't be at 99% of the day because then you lose games against the teams that are in the Premier League. So obviously until this season, in a lot of games we haven't been good enough. So we know that. We try to improve as a team, try to improve as an individual, what also is really important, I think. And then in the end, it has also sometimes a little bit to do with luck also, I think. But we all know that we have to improve and to become better. But I'm now talking about the Premier League. But I think tomorrow is another chance to show our worth in a European competition. Until now, we haven't lost a game, so hopefully we can keep it that way and get a good result.
Martin.
Yeah, hi, Matisse. Just on that same topic, after Sunday, this looks like your best chance of being back in Europe next season. How important is that for the players to have European football?
Yeah, that's obviously that's the consequence. If you win the tournament, that's what you refer to. I think you go to the Champions League, but I think that's not our main goal at the moment. Our main goal is to win the game tomorrow, to get a good result. Watching it step by step, game after game. The Europa League is not a tournament where you can win without effort. So we know we have to fight tomorrow to put everything on the line to win the game, and that's our first concern for tomorrow. So we will be ready and hopefully get a good result tomorrow.
Okay, last two, Chris and Pete. Chris.
Yes, hi, Ruben. In talking about the club's longer-term goals these past few days, you've twice mentioned that you might not be part of it. Do you still have the self-belief that you can see this job through and turn the club around in the way that you hope?
Yes, what I mean is that we have to think as a club as a long project and not just solve things in this moment and try to. If you win the cup, we are in the bad position. If we won the Europa League, we'll be in amazing position in the next year because the problems continue here, even with the Champions League. So that's what I want to say, and I know that you guys make counts of my rescission, and so I'm just trying to show that I don't care, and I'm really confident on the big goal of this club. That's all. I'm trying to show the big picture to our supporters. That's all.
And you're confident in yourself that you can be the man to turn this
That is
around?
clear. That is clear. I know what to do, but sometimes this is a result. It's a life of results, and you have to win games. So I know the consequences when we don't win games, but I'm really confident. Since day one, a little bit more frustrated, but I'm still confident.
Last question, Pete.
Hi, Ruben. Even with results going the way they have been, are you still fully in with keeping the faith with your system? Because you've kept that all the way through. You've not changed it up. You've stuck with your philosophy, your way of football. Are you happy to stick with that? And do you feel that the players are becoming accustomed to it now?
I think it's quite simple. I think we talk about the system. I think the system is not the problem. It's the way of playing. You build up with three. You can build up with three, with two defenders and one midfielder going down. So it's quite simple. I don't see the football like that. The problem of our team is not the system. We have a lot of problems. We are trying to work on these problems. Of course, every system needs different characteristics. But I was always really clear, and I have one idea. I'm still really confident because I have an idea how to play football. I will not change that, no matter what. I will not change that. And I'm not talking about the system. It's the way I see football. I will not change that. And we are going to do it. Or not, we'll see.
Not been able to travel, he wasn't included in the squad. What was the club's thinking behind making that decision at the time?
It's a different context. In that moment, Rasmus and Josh was playing in the same position. So we tried to manage all the things, even the expectations of the kids. So was that the context was completely different, and we chose the different players.
Jack Fletcher was added to the squad. Why hasn't he travelled out here?
Sorry?
Jack Fletcher, I believe he was added.
He didn't train with us, and he had a game before Fulham. We want some. Imagine Amas is here today. In the last game against Fulham, we want Amas also, but because he played all the game against Arsenal, he was not in our squad. We try to manage all the teams there and try to imagine the substitutions. And we know to bring some players is a big step, and we are taking care of the expectation of the kids.
Thank you.
Hi Ruben, it is quite a small squad and a relatively inexperienced squad in some parts. How much of a challenge is that for you, given how important the game is for you?
We have a lot of experience, and Mate is a young player, but he has a lot of experience, and we are ready because the good thing to play in Premier League, we are ready for everything. So it's a big challenge. We are going to face a very good team, really intense, with a lot of experience, international players. But we are ready because we face that teams every weekend.
Hi Ruben, can I just ask about the two injured players, Harry Maguire and Manuel Ugarte? Are they long problems, or they're not going to be out for?
Small things. So we are being careful with because in this moment we cannot allow us to.
In the Copa del Rey and Barcelona in La Liga last time out. Of course, Manchester United beaten on penalties in the FA Cup last weekend, and this is their only chance of Europe.
Not been able to travel, he wasn't included in the squad. What was the club's thinking behind making that decision at the time?
It's a different context. In that moment, Rasmus and Josh was playing in the same position. So we tried to manage all the things, even the expectations of the kids. So was that the context was completely different, and we chose the different players.
Jack Fletcher was added to the squad. Why hasn't he travelled out here?
Sorry?
Jack Fletcher, I believe he was added.
He didn't train with us, and he had a game before Fulham. We want some. Imagine Amas is here today. In the last game against Fulham, we want Amas also, but because he played all the game against Arsenal, he was not in our squad. We try to manage all the teams there and try to imagine the substitutions. And we know to bring some players is a big step, and we are taking care of the expectation of the kids.
Thank you.
Hi Ruben, it is quite a small squad and a relatively inexperienced squad in some parts. How much of a challenge is that for you, given how important the game is for you?
We have a lot of experience, and Mate is a young player, but he has a lot of experience, and we are ready because the good thing to play in Premier League, we are ready for everything. So it's a big challenge. We are going to face a very good team, really intense, with a lot of experience, international players. But we are ready because we face that teams every weekend.
Hi Ruben, can I just ask about the two injured players, Harry Maguire and Manuel Ugarte? Are they long problems, or they're not going to be out for?
Small things. So we are being careful with because in this moment we cannot allow us to lose more players for a long time. So we are taking care of them in Carrington, and they cannot play this game because it will be a great risk.
Dave. Hi, Ruben. I think you said in your Sky interview yesterday or whenever you did it that you're building something bigger here than just winning a cup this season. But surely the here and now, this competition is vital for the future of the club, not least in terms of the financial aspect of it. It's worth up to maybe £100 million for the club if you go all the way and win this competition and get a Champions League place, but also in terms of attracting the very best players next season. So in that context, do you kind of understand or accept that it's so important for the club to win this competition?
That is clear. I think it's not the crucial thing for the future of the club. That is my view, and I'm here for 3 months, and I think that is clear. But I understand is a massive difference in our season, especially because we are out of the cups in the bad position in the league. That could change a lot of things, even the way they see the coach. So I know that is a massive pressure. But I will say it again. Manchester United can have that can call all the best players even without Champions League in the future. We have to change a lot of things, and we're trying to do that. So I think that there is more important things than win cups in this moment. That is my feeling. But I understand that winning Europa League can change everything for us in the next season.
Hi, Ruben. I know you've sort of addressed this, but was there any temptation to bring some of the academy players with you just in case you might need them in a match like this, or you just don't think that they're ready for this kind of occasion?
Again, I'm trying to, when I put the squad, I see the players that I have that train with us, and then I imagine the substitutions. That's why sometimes I call it 1 or 2, and then I'm trying to see if they train with us, and then I trying to see if they come here to play or to be on the bench for you guys to be like seeing a lot of youth. I'm trying to manage everything. I know that is a big step for them, and I'm trying to cope with everything. So when I do my squad, I trying to think in every aspect of the formation of a kid, our squad, and not what is going to look like really well with the fans and the media.
Hi, Ruben. I just wonder, for the likes of Josh, Rasmus and Alejandro, what needs to happen either for them or the team to really unlock them in terms of their goal scoring and to get them, in better opportunities?
Sometimes there are things that is hard to explain. For example, before the last match, we had some games without opportunities and create chances, and that is impossible for them to score. So it's a team thing. But I felt like in the last game, sometimes it's a luck. The way we kick the ball a little bit a meter more inside, we had opportunities to score. We didn't score. Sometimes it's really that's it. One thing is to create situations. We created in the last game, but in certain moments we need a little bit luck to score one, and then when you score one, you take out of the big pressure and you score 2 or 3 in the next games.
Matthias, can I just ask you as well, how are you settling into life in Manchester, and how do you compare kind of the scrutiny and the pressure on the club and yourself compared to clubs you've been at, like Bayern Munich, Juventus, Ajax?
Yeah, I think I'm settling in really well. Obviously, been here now, what is it, maybe 6-7 months also. I think we have a really nice team, really nice group. Obviously the season until now is not what we expected. So yeah, with that comes a lot of pressure, a lot of criticism, what is normal in football, I think. And yeah, for me it's not different because I've been in clubs where you have to win the title every year, so that's not something different than before. But obviously, being in the place where we are in the Premier League is quite different. But yeah, you have to keep going, you have to work hard, and as a team improve, and then hopefully the results will come.
James.
Matthias, just following on from that, obviously you've come in at a time where it's probably been the most turbulent season the club have had in the Premier League era. Has it been a bit of a shock to the system for you at times, having to cope with what the team's been through?
I wouldn't call it a shock. What I said, obviously, you would have expected it a little bit better, the way it is at the moment. But yeah, it's the Premier League where you're playing in, and the Premier League is, you can't be at 99% of the day, because then you lose games against the teams that are in the Premier League. So obviously, into this season, in a lot of games we haven't been good enough. So we know that. We try to improve as a team, try to improve as an individual, what also is really important, I think. And then in the end, it has also sometimes a little bit to do with luck also, I think. But we all know that we have to improve and to become better. But I'm now talking about the Premier League, but I think tomorrow is another chance to show our worth in a European competition. Until now we haven't lost a game, so hopefully we can keep it that way and get a good result.
Martin. Yeah, hi Matisse. Just on that same topic, after Sunday, this looks like your best chance of being back in Europe next season. How important is that for the players to have European football?
Yeah, that's obviously that's the consequence. If you win the tournament, that's what you refer to. I think you go to the Champions League, but I think that's not our main goal at the moment. Our main goal is to win the game tomorrow, to get a good result. Watching it step by step, game after game. The Europa League is not a tournament where you can win without effort. So we know we have to fight tomorrow to put everything on the line to win the game, and that's our first concern for tomorrow. So we will be ready and hopefully get a good result.
Is concerned. Real Sociedad have made 7 changes from the side beaten by Barca. Naya Figuered, Ian Munoz, Lucas Sucic, Bernat Torrientes, Bryce Mendes, Takefusa Kubo and Mikel Oyarzabal are returned to the starting 11. John Aramburu, Javi Lopez, Jon Ander Ulasagasti, Martin Zubamendi, Pablo Marin, Sergio Gomez and Ore Oskarsson are the players to make way. United also make 3 changes from the side beaten on penalties by Fulham in the FA Cup. Patrick Dorgu, Casemiro and Alejandro Garnacho start. Harry Maguire, Manuel Ugarte and Christian Eriksen are the 3 to make way. The lineup's in full then. The home side, Romero, Elizondo, Aguerd. Well, a warm welcome along to our coverage, excuse me, of the action taking place at the Real Arena. It's Real Sociedad against Manchester United in the Europa League, and realistically, these two sides are kind of pinning their hopes on Europa League success. Real Sociedad in 9th in the table, Manchester United down in 14th, so avenues for silverware appear to be solely dependent on their success in this tournament. Of course, they're playing each other, so somebody's going to make way. I'll bring you the team news in a moment. The match is underway. Manchester United have possession. Bringing the team news in a moment, but myself, Rob Eddy and Lewis Raftery taking you through this one. Neither side, and perhaps great Nick, who we think has got the better chance.
I mean, Manchester United, usually away from home under Ruben Amorim, have actually been quite a solid outfit, I would say. Away wins at the Etihad, a big draw at Anfield. Against Fulham a few weeks ago, they've actually probably done better on the road. FCSB last time out in the Europa League, they got a win, didn't they? And they've done pretty well in the Europa League. Very confident start from Onana. They're taking a few risks, but as you say, usually you would back the home side, Sociedad at home. I think they'll have the backing of the fans, as you would expect. But United on the road, a lot of injuries. It's a chance, as you said, maybe to again maybe change of form coming into the back end of the season for the Red Devils.
Garnacho playing on the right has just caught Munoz, so it will be a free kick to Real Sociedad on the halfway line. Yeah, Onana taking a real chance, faking it to a pass to the left back and then just backheeled it away from Oyarzabal. Let's say he's not feeling any pressure right now for Manchester United. Obviously, he's just one of a number of United players under the spotlight. 7 changes made by Real Sociedad, incidentally, from the side that was beaten 4-0 at Barca in La Liga. Now, admittedly, they did have a man sent off, but still 4-0 is 4-0. The changes, Aguerd, Munoz, Sucic, Torrientes, Mendes, Kubo and Oyarzabal come into the side. Aramburu, Lopez, Olasagasti, Zubamendi, Marin, Oscarson and Sergio Gomez are the 7 to make way. 3 changes for United. Dorgo, of course, suspended domestically. That obviously doesn't count in Europe, so he's back. Casemiro starts in midfield, and Garnacho replaces Christian Eriksen. Those are the changes from the Fulham. The penalty defeat in the FA Cup. Ugarte and Harry Maguire, the other 2 to make way. Ball over the top. Dorgo has got the run. He's defending. He's got the run on Elizondo, and there's a clash of legs, and Manchester United get the free kick, so it's Manchester United in possession. So 7 changes for Real Sociedad. I mean, do we think that's 7 changes is a lot when you're taking on Barcelona? Clearly, he had this game in mind.
Yeah, 100%, and maybe look at the Europa League, as you say, with a poor performance in the league, but United swiftly coming forward now.
Yeah, nice turn from Xerxes. Now Højlund, left edge of the box. Has he got an end product? He's trying to go around the outside. Low ball in, doesn't quite get the contact. It's stabbed away. And the second ball is also picked up by Real Sociedad. Masraoui is fairly high up the pitch, gets a challenge in on Kubo. So the ball goes into touch, throw into Real Sociedad. But the first real menace there coming from Manchester United. Mentioned Onana's under the spotlight. Højlund is under the spotlight. Can't score, seemingly. I had a chance there. Obviously wasn't the best cross.
It's a bit of positivity, isn't it? As you say, under a lot of pressure is Højlund, and I like that he just put his head down, tried to get past his man and put a ball into the box looking for a teammate. There were a lot of red shirts in there, a lot of white and blue jerseys as well. It was a packed penalty area, but I do like the little bit of shoulder dropping and getting past his man. He did his job, and not a great ball in, but you're expecting Højlund to put a good ball in. You would rather perhaps Garnacho be there and him putting the ball in and Højlund being in the right spot, but I think sometimes it can just take one performance and that can be a change of form. And he got his first goal, didn't he, last season, Højlund, and he went on a good streak, so maybe that can happen again tonight. Could maybe the same.
Referee's given a foul. Ivan Krutzliak, the official, looked as though a little bit of the ball was got. Maybe not. There's a little push in the chest as well from Xerxes. Stretch didn't get the ball. I don't think he got the man, but it was then the push in the chest that yielded the free kick. I don't know if this is bizarre. All the British teams are playing at the same time. 3 in the Europa League, and of course 1 in the Conference League. No goals in any of those games yet. Try and keep you up to speed with scores and scorers. Tottenham away at Alkmaar. Rangers are at Fenerbahce, and Chelsea are at FC Copenhagen. So all 4 British teams involved in Europe are playing on the road at 5:45. Of course, next week they'll all be at home at 8 o'clock. But that's for 7 days' time, as Real Sociedad on the attack down the left-hand side. Barani with a cross. It's gone too far. It's kept alive, though, by Cuba. Right edge of the box. Cross. Half a deflection from Dorgo. It's only cleared. Shot comes back in. Doesn't have any power. Højlund can't find a pass out. And there's another opportunity, but free kick given, actually, against Real Sociedad. The ball might have ended up in the back of the net. Sucic taking this shot because 1 or 2 arms went up. A.N. Munoz was the man adjudged to have handballed. It looked a bit harsh, but I think the handball rule is a little bit different in Europe. I mean, it struck the arm, but it was far from deliberate.
Yeah, it was very close to him as well. Didn't have the ball bobbled, I think, off his right boot, then onto his left arm as well. Before looked to find Højlund, he had a slip of the foot, but Højlund started brightly, but again defensively very quickly from United. A lot of bodies in the area really trying to frustrate Sociedad there, but I think both sides have started brightly, started strongly as well, and I think it's maybe just waiting for that first chance. I mean, we're only 6 minutes in, but maybe that first chance comes, and the tempo of the game's been quite high so far.
Yeah, Real Sociedad, he's just starting to see a bit more of the ball. Foul given against De Ligt, a little nudge in the back, and a Yazabal back in the side, of course, so plenty of these Real Sociedad players well rested, having missed out on the 4-0 defeat that was at Barcelona. As I say, they did have a man sent off. It was Elizondo, so even though he played in the last match, he got a break. Just a little run out before he was sent off. Whether that would have changed matters had they had a man on the field is open. That man on the field that's open to question. They're down in 9th in La Liga, and obviously perhaps struggling to mount a league finish that will get European football. So the eggs in the the basket, it would appear, the Europa League basket, much like they are for Manchester United. Throw in, a little back heel into the box. There's an appeal for offside, not given. Then the flag goes up. What was the linesman thinking of? Took 3 or 4 touches there at Yazabal before the flag went up. I don't know what the referee or the assistant referee was waiting for. And a couple of yards offside, well defended on that occasion by Manchester United. A couple of early goals. Rangers have taken the lead at Fenerbahce, and Panathinaikos lead Fiorentina at home. Of course, Rangers in the Europa League, Fiorentina in the Conference League. They're the 2 goals that have gone in the 5:40 kickoffs. Obviously not much of a chance, 8 minutes for a goal in this game. Our focus, long ball downfield, Xerxes beaten in the air by Agard. Switch of play from United, though. It was only a clearance, and Dalot will get there ahead of Munoz. So Manchester United on the attack. It's played off the legs of Munoz, throw into the visiting side, which Dalot himself will take. Playing on the right, of course, but that's not a guarantee. And Mazraoui playing is now the left of the 3 centre-backs. That could well change. I've seen games where he and Yoro just switch. I don't know the thinking behind it. But at the moment, Yoro is right of 3, under a little bit of pressure. Might have to go back to Annan. I know he's trying to keep possession. Casemiro to Fernandes, flicks it forward to Garnacho. He's wriggling away from the pressure, but he's going back into his own half. I don't know if Agard's got a man management job, because it was him that followed him. Played down the line. Højlund is onside, at least until he touches the ball. No, the flag stay down. He has it. It was a good run. He just clipped in the heels by Munoz, not once but twice. The referee tries to play on. And, no free kick given, and Real Sociedad have it back. Given a couple of fouls that the referee's given, maybe there was a tap on the ankles worthy of a free kick.
I think it put him off at least, didn't it? At least a tap on the ankles from Højlund there. United still coming forward with Dorgu now.
Down the left, on the overlap, cross, blocks, into touch, goes behind. Will be a corner kick to Manchester United in the 10th minute. A little bit more direct from United than maybe Real Sociedad so far. Obviously, we're still in the early stages. United trying to use either Xerxes or Højlund down the channels, and a couple of times Højlund has got into that sort of space. Of course, Garnacho hasn't really seen too much of the ball yet. United have had some recent success from set pieces, and they've got the first of the game. Yoro Delict up from the back. Obviously, no Harry Maguire today. And Fernandes with the delivery in towards the near post. Doesn't find a red shirt, headed away. Dorgu back to Fernandes, the corner taker. Dorgu on the overlap. But 2 or 3 defenders there prevent an early cross. A different diagonal attempted by Fernandes, although it was intercepted by Agard. De Ligt has got the loose ball, and United still have possession. De Ligt crosses. Yoro tries to take it on the turn. All he's done is volley it over his own head to the keeper. It's not a shot, and the keeper Ramiro picks up. So first set piece, no real danger, but obviously chances for United.
Yeah, it was put in a good area, wasn't it, from Fernandes? I don't think it was a great. I say it's put in a great area. I don't think it was a great corner or a terrible corner. Just put in an area where you're asking your teammates to do something about it. But Sociedad defended it really well. As you said, I think they're growing in the game, getting on the ball. Are the hosts now in United, as you say, looking to maybe hit more on the counter, play balls into the channels to Højlund, to Garnacho, get Xerxes on the ball, first time quick passes. But at the moment, neither keeper's been tested.
Yeah, 11 minutes gone, just about. 0-0, of course, and no real efforts at goal. Loose pass from Real Sociedad puts Kubo under pressure. Well, there is always a man in space, even if it is in the Real Sociedad half. Now, Telientes is turned into trouble. There's a break for Manchester United. Højlund to Garnacho, who's playing on the left at the moment. Dorgu went on the overlap. Garnacho with a shot straight at the keeper. And perhaps he and Dorgu weren't on quite the same wavelength, but it's a shooting opportunity. Goalkeeper tested.
I don't blame Garnacho taking that one on there. As you say, it's a good overlapping run from Dorgu, and it opens up space for the Argentine. But I think sometimes he's been given that selfish moniker, hasn't he, that he doesn't look up and doesn't play those crosses into his teammates. That's the one that I understand that. It's the first time in the game he's got a chance to test the goalkeeper. He's straight at him, so it's an easy save. But again, just get that first shot on target, test the keeper nice and early, see what they're all about. I don't hate that. I think it's quite bright and positive from Garnacho. But again, just showing in transition, United can be really dangerous.
Yeah, Mulder have just taken the lead at home to Legia Warsaw. That's the third goal gone in the 5:45s. Real Sociedad is trying to respond as Terrientes drives forward from midfield, feeds it out to Kubo, hooking the right touchline. Support comes from Elizondo, lofted into the box, but that's a bit of catching practice for Onana. And maybe the referee's just having a word with Yazabal. Maybe he was doing something he didn't need to do. I don't know. He seemed to be having a word. Easy claim for Onana in the end, as it's he drops it down and then arrows it out to the left where nobody is, and that bounces into touch. The 8-second rule hasn't started yet, but he was obviously trying to get rid.
Yeah, maybe trying to get used to it nice and early on before it does kick in, as you say, next season. But with how quickly he did put it down and kick it into the left-hand channel, I thought there must have been a player making a run, whether it was a Xerxes or a Dorgu, but there wasn't there. Sociedad playing that from the back, dangerously there. Fernandez nearly winning the ball high up the field for the horse there, quite obviously testing them early with a high press, but Sociedad, a Spanish side, they're always great playing out from the back. That's how they want to play. But again, at the same time, I think United, as I said, very good in transition, Sociedad have to be careful.
Yeah, possession stats might be building up for Real Sociedad, but as we've talked about, United are a bit more direct going forward, trying to get it in behind nice and early, as Casemiro concedes a throw-in. Kubo tackling on the touchline. Kubo hasn't really left the right touchline so far. Hasn't really threatened also, but Casemiro is marking the throw-in down the line, so they gained a bit of ground, have Real Sociedad. I don't know if Casemiro is technically playing on the left, but that's a couple of times he is getting in the way of Real Sociedad advances. Another throw-in only just inside the United half taken and returned to Elizondo. Another challenge comes in, this time from Dorgu, so again a little bit of ground taken, maybe midway inside the United half. Still a throw-in to Real Sociedad into the 15th minute. Goalless, of course, the one shot we've had, Garnacho. Routine save really for Ramiro, and Real Sociedad haven't quite mustered anything yet in response, but they are seeing more of the ball. It might be a matter of time, as they've worked it from right to left. Barene is under a little bit of pressure, so he has to go back towards the halfway line, as does Terrientes, to Zubeldia. Forward to Yazabal, who's dropped off, I guess, the number 9 position. Good feet from Kubo, who's got a bit of space. Now a 1-2 down the right. I think he slipped under pressure from Mazraoui. Kubo didn't appear, others did, but Kubo was straight on his feet trying to win the ball back. Mazraoui clears downfield, but that slides into touch before it's able to reach Xerxes, and it'll be another throw in. So possession stats about 60-40 in Sociedad's favour. But at the moment, no, well, I don't remember a goal attempt as it's floated into the box by Barene. That one had a little bit more purpose, even if it was more floated. But again, it was too close to Onana, and United deal with it.
Yeah, still it was quite easy for Onana, but again, going direct to United, a ball over the top for Garnacho, nearly gets on the end of it. And as you said, it is quite, at the moment, quite two different philosophies. Sociedad want to get on the ball, knock it around, keep possession, try to control the game with the ball, whereas United want to defend low, get on the ball, use the pace of the forward through with balls in behind. But right now, Sociedad looking quite comfortable and in control.
Kubo on it, on the right-hand side, going back onto his left foot, but that's where Dorgu wants him to go. Still support is there. Elizondo back to Kubo, coming in field once again, ball into the box. The layoff is behind him though, and United potentially could clear. Casemiro finds Fernandez. They were quite deep on that occasion, Manchester United, so there isn't an early direct ball downfield. Garnacho has it on the halfway line. Back to Dalot, to Yoro. Fernandez dropping deep. He's playing alongside Casemiro today in the middle of the park. It seems to be the new position for Bruno Fernandes. Obviously it doesn't help Ruben Amorim when so many players are out. Of course he's shipped on a load as well, but it doesn't help. If Fernandes, is that the position he ought to be playing?
I think you want him a little bit further up in terms of that forward three that Amorim plays with the two attacking midfielders. And the striker. I think that's where you want him. You want him in the final third, creating chances and scoring goals, getting on the end of the balls. But when you look at, especially as you say, more about the injuries and the options who can play there, you do want someone who can get on the ball and play a crossfield pass and just knock it around and control things. And Fernandes can do that. So right now, as you said, due to the squad management and injuries here, there and everywhere, I think right now his best position's there. But I do think Cameroon will move him further up the field if he had a choice.
I'm not sure if I mentioned Mulder had taken the lead, but they're 2 in front now. That's at home to Legia Warsaw. Only just scraped past Shamrock Rovers in the last round, but they're taking early control of the next round against Legia. 2-0 up. Still Rangers are the only scorers in the Conference League. Driving forward goes Terrientes. He's held off one man. Shot comes in under another pressure from Casemiro. Might have slipped as he's striking the ball as well. It's well wide of the far post, well wide. And he looked frustrated in the end. But that's a couple of times Terrientes has driven forward from deep.
Yeah, really good ball carrying their ability. As I said, I think he just loses his footing, slips on the surface, and as well you would add that, probably looking at it, that Casemiro, although doesn't get the ball, doesn't get the man either, probably him closing down and going in for the ball, trying to slide in and win it, always probably does put him off a little bit, I would have to say. But now a goal kick for United, a chance to reset, and instead of going short, they're going to probably looking to try and go long and just try and get in that Sociedad final third.
Another couple of goals have gone in. Panathinaikos have doubled their lead against Fiorentina. I think many thought Fiorentina were good shouts to go all the way, but they're 2-0 down in this, admittedly it's a first leg. AZ Alkmaar have taken the lead at home to Tottenham as well. So the first goal involving, I beg your pardon, Rangers are in front. Second goal involving a British side, and it's not gone the way of the British side as Mazraoui has it. He's under pressure, but he shows some good composure, and it's a good ball out to Dalot, right edge of the box. Only Hoyland to aim for. Maybe the pass should have come sooner. It's laid back to the edge of the box. Garnacho, he's now under pressure. Can he find a shooting opportunity or support? He's gone for the latter. Dorgo, left of the D, onto his right foot. Can't keep it down. Might have been wide of the post as well. And it's going to be a goal kick. Frustrations for Hoyland. I think an earlier cross from Dalot. Hoyland's got a chance.
I mean, it's a great ball in behind from Mazraoui into the wing back Dalot, but look at it there. He's got to play it first time across, as you say. Play it first time across. Hoyland's got a one-on-one opportunity. Not a tap-in, but a really good chance there. He takes a touch, and the attack just slows down. Sociedad get bodies back. And as you said, you can see the frustration from Amorim. Could see the frustration of how angry Hoyland was as well, rightfully so. You want the service, apologies, he didn't get it there. Dorgu leaning back, I can understand him trying to go for it, but at the same time, he's a wing back, ball goes over, the balance was a little bit off. But if Dalot plays that first time, it's a real chance for United.
Yeah, real chance. I mean, this is a reason why obviously Hoyland's struggling to score. He doesn't get the service, really. I don't think you can blame it all on him. An earlier ball, he's ahead of the defender. Obviously, the danger is curling it around the first defender. It might go too close to the keeper, I don't know. But he didn't try it. Hoyland's made a run, doesn't get the ball, ends up with Dorgu shooting with his wrong foot way over the bar. I think there looks to be an injury issue. Everybody's taken a drink. I think Neef Agard's got a slight problem, so he's just getting looked at. So time for the players to at least get things on board, fluids, etc. Mentioned Fiorentina, one of the outright favourites. They pull one back. They've woken up. Panathinaikos 2, Fiorentina 1. That's for the Conference League. Mulder 2 up at home to Legia Warsaw. And in the Europa League, the goals have come in games involving Alkmaar and Tottenham. Alkmaar in front. Rangers lead at Fenerbahce. Still goalless in our game, of course. The focus being Real Sociedad against Manchester United. Not too many clear-cut openings. Garnacho and Dorgu for United. Terrientes for Real. But none have really troubled the keeper. Of course, 2 have been off target. Garnacho's effort was rather tame in the end, and it was well read by Ramiro, but at least he did work the keeper. That's a good switch of play from Casemiro. Dorgo down the left channel, and Elistondou's tried to hold him up. Xerxes in support. Early ball in, it's turned away. Neither Fernandes or Garnacho were quite there, and a potential break on for Real Sociedad as Kubo goes down under pressure from Dorgu, who ran behind him. Now, to me, it looked as though he wanted to go to ground. And bear in mind, Hoyland got kicked in it's minimal contact. I've seen a replay. You would argue, yes, at some point hairs have touched. How is that a free kick and Hoyland didn't get a free kick?
I think that's the problem, isn't it? You look at that and go, it's just a consistency that if that's a free kick, fair enough. If that's what the referee wants to give, I don't care. Can't argue that's the referee's decision. But if that is a free kick, then if you're Rasmus Hoyland, you're looking at the referee and lines are going, well, how did I not get one? Whereas if that's not a free kick and Hoyland wasn't, consistency, that's all we're after. But again, I think it's a soft free kick anyway. But here comes Sociedad down the left.
Yeah, it was a free kick on the halfway line, so not imminent danger. But of course, there could have been a potential counter. Cross comes in from Bereni, headed away by De Ligt. Hoyland nods it down. Well, he nods it down quite away, but he has found Bruno Fernandes. Dalot is now trying to go round the outside of Bereni, up towards Hoyland. The layoff intercepted. I don't think Fernandes was expecting it. Certainly Sucic was, and now the counter is on, although it's a good challenge from Fernandes to stop Talientes breaking past him. I mean, obviously, he's another player who, I guess, is a little bit Marmite. There'll be plenty who'll criticise Bruno Fernandes. But you look at United and all of their troubles this season, you couldn't really say it's not because Fernandes doesn't care or doesn't put a shift in. You could say that about others that have been shipped on, but you can't say about Bruno Fernandes.
No, I think you're down to think if you're a Manchester United fan where you'd probably be without Bruno Fernandes, without the goals, without the assist, with, as you said, just the shifts that he put in. Saw the game on Sunday against Fulham. It was in later on how he defended well, won the ball, then he went all the way up the pitch to try and supplement an attack, and then he got all the way back to defend as well, and he looked absolutely shattered. But as you said, you can't fault him for putting in 100% effort, trying to better the team and better the club. And as you said, at least from a fan's point of view, sometimes that's all you can expect. And put on top of that he's a very good player. I'm surprised some of the criticism he does get.
Yeah, it's probably his demonstrative actions at referees and things like that. Hit long by United, but that's far too long for Hoyland. Comes up from him, but he's never going to get there. We have passed the halfway point. There has been a little bit of injury time, so that might get added on. No breakthrough as yet. And to be honest, no real sign of a breakthrough. One or two sniffs and a couple to United, but as mentioned, neither side broken the deadlock, and here's Lewis.
Thank you very much, Robbie. It's been quite a tactical battle, I would say. A lot of possession for Sociedad. That's how they'll be wanting to play. United going direct sometimes, I think, to their detriment. Sometimes it could be a little bit more patient on the ball. Sociedad do have it now, and they're trying to spray it from right to left. United have tried to do that a few times. Went from one wing back, looking to pick out Delors to Dorgu on the left-hand side a few times. But Sociedad have it just inside their own half. United not sitting deep in a low block, but now trying to press as soon as the ball gets into that Sociedad midfield trio. It's all the way back to the goalkeeper, Ramiro. 1-2, and all the way back to the Spanish keeper again, trying to maybe tease United to come forward. Just trying to stride out of their own back line. Sociedad United pressing with Hoyland, and now Dorgu. It's quite a slow pace, slow tempo, just over 25 minutes played. And we would have to say, as we spoke about, the best chance, that shot on goal from Alejandro Garnacho. It was a good piece of transitional play from the Red Devils, but now Sociedad still on the ball, knocking it around, looking confident, looking comfortable. This is how they will want to play. This is how they want to control the game. Of course, it's a two-legged affair, so they'll be thinking, right, we really could do with winning this regardless of the scoreline. Lovely feint there from Kubo. Keeps it with possession with the Spanish side, and they're just knocking it around just inside their own half. And again, there's no real pressure, there's no real tempo to do much, but now they do up it a little bit on the left hand side. Maybe a ball will come in, no it won't. Back into the middle, into Mendes. He looks to spray it out to the right hand side to Kubo, headed away by Dorgu, but his side do not keep it, and Sociedad get back on the ball once again. Quite clearly, I think they're trying to either with Barena on the left hand side as ball comes in the box, or Nana comes out and claims it. Whether it's down the left hand side or the right hand side, that's clearly where Sociedad are trying to maybe take apart United, get in behind the wing backs, maybe go one-on-one with the wide central defenders, and this is something that United won't be wanting. Patrick Dorgu's just gone down, holding his left thigh for now. Don't know if it's something he's pulled or there was a collision when he went up for the header. There didn't look like there was any collision between the two players. I don't know if he's landed awkwardly. Unfortunately, United, of course, as Rob's already mentioned, many injuries to the side, along with a few players that are being shipped out. Can see on the United bench now, Toby Collier getting warmed up and ready. Of course, Dorgu, as Rob's already mentioned, serving that ban in the leagues. Watching it back there, it gets a bit of a knock, as I want to say it was Stando goes up there. Maybe it's just a little bit of a dead leg. Assuming that Ruben Amorim will be hoping that, and that Merritt can get on and work their magic. But in terms of how many players being injured, Dorgu started life at Old Trafford very well. Of course, that red card this time last midweek against Ipswich. He's back to his feet, hobbling as he is. I'm going to be happy to see that he's at least all right to continue. Maybe just needs a few minutes of a pause and getting that medical treatment that he's still getting. But as soon as he went down, the Danish wing back, I can assume Amorim was just thinking, oh no, not another injury.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there are issues there, and of course, I don't think I mentioned it. Yeah, you might have done. It's a small bench for Manchester United, not the full 12, and 2 of them are keepers. But you know, Harry Amas is a left-sided player, left back, if you like. So it could be argued he could fill straight in. Dorgu is back on the field, so I mean, fingers crossed, of course. That great ball from Fernandes. Coming back to that, maybe. Here's Hoyland.
Hoyland on the right-hand side, looking to bring it inside, into Garnacho, into the area, goes for a shot at goal, easily deflected away, and Sociedad would keep possession in their own back line. They will boot it away. Yoro gives away a foul against Oyarzabal, and it will be a free kick for Sociedad. And again, it's a good chance for Hoyland. I just don't know there. Sometimes I look at Garnacho, wasn't screaming at Hoyland, but he was asking for the pass, maybe a 1-2. Hoyland, I think, a little bit slow to get the ball out of his own feet and play it into the Argentine, but sometimes those two just don't link up to me. I don't think they have the chemistry that you'd want from the two youngsters. It seems to have it last season, coming into this season, it's being less. The Sociedad skipper still on the surface, still on the ground, looks to be in a little bit of pain. It was a little bit of a knock he received from Yoro. Looks to be nothing serious, just more of a bit of a stinger for the Sociedad at number 10. Back to his feet now, walking a little bit gingerly. And it might just take a few minutes just to maybe run it off, run around and get back on the ball. That's what Sociedad have right now. And as Rob said, the possession stats 60% earlier. Can assume that will just continue to rise around 62% now. Probably will get close to maybe 65-70 as we approach the latter stages of the first half. But United do win it back. Casemiro, in the middle of the field, into Xerxes. That's a heavy touch, but plays it into Fernandes. He wanted to switch that first time out to Dorgu on the left-hand side instead. To the Moroccan Mazraoui. Now Dorgu does have space. Mazraoui tries to find it with a long ball. He'll get on the end of it. Players forward. Good ball into the box. Deflected away. Still bobbing around in the area. Headed away by Sociedad. Forces a corner there for United. It'll be the second one of the game for the Red Devils. Again, as you said, Rob, quite earlier, Sociedad, they want to take the time on the ball, control at United. Very happy to play direct long balls in behind the defence.
Yeah, and they look a little bit more dangerous, don't they? I mean, obviously they haven't quite capitalised yet, but Hoyland, Xerxes, Garnacho, they've got into spaces. They probably lack a few numbers when they do counter quickly. And hence they haven't quite created that clear-cut opportunity. Real Sociedad, of course, knocking it around, but their balls into the box haven't been great. Hernández made a couple of easy claims. So United are looking a little bit more dangerous. Real Sociedad have got all the ball.
Fernandes in-swinger there into the front post, over the head of Xerxes, and no one in a red jersey absolutely anywhere near, apart from the Dutch forward there, but back the ball goes to Fernandes on the left-hand side. Delors very centrally and narrow, and that is a very poor ball. Out to the left-hand side, Sociedad will let it trickle out of play. They will go for a goal kick for the hosts. Just over half an hour played, if you're joining us. Independent off-tube studio commentary of the clash in Spain. Real Sociedad against Manchester United. First leg in the Europa League. It's Real Sociedad 0, Manchester United 0. Do look at probably the best chance, I'd say, of the game. It wasn't a great one, but a shot on target from Alejandro Garnacho after a very quick and speedy transition from the Red Devils. Casemiro won it in the middle, out to Hoyland, quickly out to his teammate Garnacho. Good overlapping run from Dorgu, created the space for Garnacho to come more centrally, strike straight at the goal, straight at the goalkeeper Romero, and easily saved. But that was best chance of the game so far. Apart from that, quite tepid. Sociedad, a lot of possession, a lot of the ball, quick passes, trying to control the game. United so far looking to be quite direct, but they do have the ball now, just inside Sociedad's half. to Xerxes, that's a heavy touch, but he gets away with it and keeps possession. Casemiro once again look to switch the play a lot this evening. Out to Delors. Good but heavy first touch there. Into Garnacho, a little bit of miscommunication there. And Sociedad once again just won it back a little bit too easily. I would say, I don't think Amorim will be happy on the bench there. Heavy touch there from Rabal. Delict comes away with the ball, playing that central role of the three defenders. Mazraoui on the left, Yoro on the right. Dorgu has it on the left hand side, tries to come more centrally and narrow, gives away the ball though, and Sociedad have it back once again on the left hand side. Garnacho looking to press high, trying to win the ball high up the field. United quite clearly again trying to be quite intense with the pressing. Quickly as the ball's gone out of play for a throw-in. Rangers did take the lead, as Rob said, in Turkey, but Fenerbahce have got an equaliser there. It is 1 apiece, and FCSB are hosting Lyon, and the French outfit have taken the lead. Nicolas Tagliafico, Ajax man, getting the goal there. And what a game there is in Greece on. Panathinaikos took a 2-0 lead, and Fiorentina have fought back. It's 2 apiece there. Elsewhere, as it was last time Rob brought it to you, Alkmaar still leading 1-0 against Ange Postecoglou's Spurs. Fight for the ball in the middle, and Sociedad win it down the left hand side. They come ball over the top, looking to find Kubo. That's a good one. Out to the right hand side. Can the Spanish side get plays into the box? Kubo fakes it on his right, brings it out, cross into the area, deflected away, goes out for a corner. It'll be the third corner of the game, the first for Sociedad, and the first real set piece for the Horse this evening.
Yeah, and United have had their problems defending set pieces this season. They seem to have a spell where every one was a goal, but it's not quite the same anymore. But of course, good delivery is going to cause a problem, and yeah, United have been a little bit fragile. Of course, Fulham's goal at the weekend was from a set piece. Lost 2 headers in the box. Need to win the first header.
Kubo puts it into the front post. Doesn't get too far away, but it is headed away by Xerxes. Only as far as the Sociedad man, and trying to come on the edge of the area, trying to play it in. United win it though, and maybe a transition's on. Garnacho picks it up, trying to get away from his man. That's just too easily. United lose out there. They didn't have too many bodies coming forward there though, but it was easily by Perene. Picked back up, and now Sociedad again just get back on the ball, knocking around nice and easily there. And I think Amorim will be disappointed because you had Garnacho, you had Xerxes and Højlund flying forward. Fernandes was in support. I think the Red Devils boss will be disappointed that they didn't make more of that, just because that seemed very easy for Sociedad to get the ball back there.
Yeah, too easy. I mean, maybe he caught in 2 minds. Of course, Casemiro initially won the ball back, didn't quite know where it was. So Garnacho ran past him, and he might have just been thinking, well, I've got no support. And then, of course, he didn't do anything to stop Barane dispossessed him. He didn't try and turn the other way. It did look a little bit weak in the sense that it was just coughed up, like you say, far too easily. But there wasn't anybody ahead of him. He's got to perhaps make an earlier call of how he's going to retain the ball, unless he thinks he's going to run all the way and score on a nice solo. But yeah, it didn't look as though he quite knew what he was doing, and that's arguably an argument you put against the Amorim side. Do they actually know what they're doing? I mean, I think the 3-4-3 isn't a problem, but you just see many times the vast space in the middle of the pitch, because essentially Casemiro will get pulled to the left, Fernandes will get pulled to the right, and there's just a gaping hole in the middle because arguably they're playing a back 5, not a back 3. And so there are these issues. He keeps talking about time, and admittedly he hasn't had it, but there needs to be some kind of, even if it's a temporary stopgap solution. I think they've done all right today, but that's arguably because Real Sociedad aren't in the best of form. Not a ball from Real Sociedad. Maybe they're lacking a bit of confidence because they're keeping the ball fine. It's when they want to get it into the final third, they're not really creating anything.
In between that back 4 and the midfield 3, as Rob says, very confident, not just knocking it around at their own pace. After that, though, it's very awkward for them. Xerxes looks to play it through into Dorgu. Good touch off of his head. Now he'll put a ball in nice and early over the head of Højlund. Headed away, cleared away. Casemiro keeps it alive. Heads it back to Garnacho. He's got an overlapping run of Delors. Uses a Portuguese fullback. Puts it into a good area. Bruno Fernandes strike at goal. Great save. It's still in the penalty area. Dorgu plays it back to Xerxes. Strike at goal. He back heels in and it just scores wide. Really good piece of play from United there, but a good few chances. Great defending and keeping from the Spanish side though. Garnacho uses a great overlapping run from Dalot. Great ball into the box. Finds Fernandes. Great save from Ramiro there. Then Dorgu, great just IQ to get his head up there, pass it back into Xerxes, and then unfortunately just too many bodies in there. Actually, apologies, it's a block from Elistando. It's not a save from the goalkeeper. Then the second one shot from Xerxes is a save from the goalkeeper. That Fernandes chance, if not from the right back there, that's a goal, because watching it back on a second watch, the keeper's actually not getting there.
Yeah, it's. I mean, he's on the stretch. He couldn't quite control it. There are plenty of bodies in there. They've actually worked it quite well in the end, and I think Dalot's picked out Fernandes. The problem for me is then Xerxes takes a touch, Dorgu takes a touch, Xerxes takes another touch. Why are they taking a touch? They're 6-7 yards out. Okay, the angle's not fantastic, but it allows defender or keeper to get back and get in the way or set themselves. Fernandes hit it first time, and it's a goal if it doesn't hit a defender. You wouldn't say the defender's threw himself in the way. It's hit a defender. So taking a first time shot. I don't know why they took took touches, because the chance came without the touch.
He slowed it down a little bit. Did he take the touch and the defenders can set themselves almost? I think passing into Xerxes was a good option. But at the same time, perhaps if Dorgu maybe just takes a first-time strike, it doesn't mean Sociedad can set themselves. Regardless, forward, they come down the left-hand side. Dalot gives away a bit of a cheap foul, I would say. Coming down the left-hand side, Munoz takes a good touch. He fakes it onto his left foot, brings it inside. And it's just, I'd say it's a lazy leg that he just leaves out almost. I think Munoz is milking it a little bit. But it's just that Delors leaves the leg out, almost his whole right, his left thigh as well. Leaves a little bit in. I think Munoz is milking it very much so, but I do think it's lazy from Delors.
Yeah, he was expecting a cross and he cut back inside. I mean, he's definitely milking it. He's almost half pulling out the challenge. He essentially just wants to get a leg in the way. He's not cleaned him out or anything like that. Munoz down on the ground, rolling around, trying to get him into the book, which obviously it's part and parcel of the game now. But it's a definite free kick, and it's an opportunity. Maybe 10 yards from the goal line, only a few yards in from the touch line. Not really shooting angle, but of course similar to a corner.
Kubo to take, almost an outswinger. Doesn't beat the first man in Dorgu. United look to come away with it. First touch from Xerxes, not a good one. Headed back in by Sociedad, headed back out by United, but doesn't find Højlund the intended target. And Sociedad get it back. Sucic is on the ball, wants to bring it forward, tries to play it further into Sociedad final third. Now Dalot, he will just boot it away, looking for Xerxes. He chests it down for Casemiro. An awkward position for the Brazilian defensive midfielder to take it. So Sociedad do win it back around about to hit 40 minutes in the game, about 5 minutes to go. As Rob said, could be a few minutes of added time, with a few stoppages we've had for injuries and taking on some fluids and so on and so forth. So I could see another 7 or 8 minutes possibly in the game. Goalless. United had a good few chances on the go through Bruno Fernandes forcing a block on the line. Xerxes forcing a great save out of the goalkeeper, but Sociedad knocking it around just inside their own penalty area now. Trying to bring it out, plays the ball out to the left hand side to Munoz, very deep in their own half. Sociedad, it's a bad pass and easily picked off by Fernandes. I don't know if it was trying to pick out the United skipper, if it was, that was a good pass, but a poor one from the Sociedad full-back. Yoro has it about halfway into the Sociedad half, into Garnacho. He's forced to go back, as Rob said earlier. Definitely a guard there. He's on a man-marking job every single time Garnacho makes a move. The former West Ham defender moves with him. Back to Onana, United have to go. He will go long and forward to Delors, goes up to win the header, loses out, and Sociedad get it back. They then lose it. This is a poor pass. Delic picks it out. Xerxes has it on the left-hand side, and I think it's gone from both sides trying to go direct and being a bit impatient. That Sociedad are on the ball, yes, but they're being a little bit impatient with their passing too.
Well, I mean, the other way hasn't worked. I mean, they haven't tested Onana yet. It's saying 2 attempts on the stats I've got in front of me, but I can only remember one, and that was way off target. A ball into the box. Dalot with a header. I don't know what the defender was doing. He left it. Unfortunately, Dalot, again, it wasn't just stood. I think he was expecting Ramiro to come. 7-8 yards out. It's arguably a free header in the end. Couldn't quite get the power. Again, has done enough, but I really don't know what he was doing. He's looking at Ramiro saying, "Where are you?" Oh, well, Ramiro's saving the ball. Just lacked the power.
Yeah, he just couldn't really get the right accuracy and power. Good Dalot there. Very awkward for him. Easily saved by Ramiro there, but again, as Rob said, very poor defending from the Sociedad backline as a whole. Fernandez easily picked out his wing back there, but Sociedad, Sucic tries to get away from Delict. Good tackle from the former Bayern and Ajax defender, and United win it back, and it goes back to the Dutch defender Delict. Plays it back to Onana. Gets it stuck underneath his feet there for a second, and instead of playing it out, he has to go long looking for Garnacho. He has a slip of the boot, and now Sociedad, neither team could really keep the ball for a moment, but space is open up here. Sucic, a lot of room in front of him. No one's trying to close him down. Thought he might go for a shot, plays it to the left-hand side instead. Dalot, it's a good tackle that time, but still loses out on the ball. Need the help of Casemiro to come over. Maybe the experience there. Because he will have played against Sociedad many times in his days with Real Madrid. Long ball forward, looking for Xerxes again. Both teams looking to go very direct in the last 5 or 10 minutes or so, but Sociedad have it back with Mendes about halfway into the United half. United quite deep, and they're looking to really hit on the counter-attack are the Red Devils. Out to Munoz on the left-hand side. No support further forward, so he has to go back. Rangers have retaken the lead in Turkey. They want 1-0 up thanks to Cyril Dessers. It looks like Cherney has regained that lead. It's 2-1 there. Rangers 2, Fenerbahce 1 here in Spain. It's independent off-tube studio commentary of Real Sociedad Manchester United. We are goalless. Manchester United thought they had a breakaway transition there, but maybe a little bit softly. A foul's been given against them, and so should have the ball. Højlund doesn't think it was, and again, that's one of them where I look at it and go, I think he's really bought that against the referee there.
Yeah, I'm not pleased by the referee at all. I mean, if anything, I guess it might be handball. Because he's got caught in possession. He's then lunged at Højlund. He's deflected the ball. I think he's trying to pretend that he's been trod on. We can see on a replay that he's not been trod on, but because he's screaming in pain, the referee's given a free kick. It's a terrible decision, and that's not the first that the referee has done. He just seems to be buying absolutely everything, unless it's Rasmus Højlund. I don't agree with that. I think that's a poor decision. United had a breakout there, and the referee's been fooled, been duped.
Yeah, I think that's a unfortunately poor decision there going against the Dane. Højlund quickly elsewhere. Fiorentina 2-0 down, just about to go into half-time. They're 3-2 up now. Mulder possibly taking a 3-0 lead, but the third goal has gone to VAR in Copenhagen. It is still goalless between themselves and Chelsea. Betis are also goalless in their game. Sociedad coming forward down the right hand side, ball played into the middle for a strike at goal. Their space is opening up. There's too much space in the penalty area. It gets in there to Sucic, but it is cleared away in the end by Delict there. Good opportunity, just too much space on the edge of the United area there.
It's not unusual. Centre of the pitch, that's where the gaps usually appear. A runner from a little bit deeper, not quite tracked. I think Delict and Mazraoui have kind of managed to shut the door in the end, but just for a moment it looked pretty dangerous. But as mentioned, 3 minutes of stoppage time we've just gone into, by the way. But yeah, a challenge game. That's the first time it's taken 45 minutes to do something like that. As a header into the box, it's hit Xerxes. There's going to be appeal for handball, I'm sure. It's smashed downfield by Xerxes, who did worryingly look at the referee, thinking it must have struck his arm. But he stood right on the. It hasn't been given yet, but VAR might have a look. We don't know, but at the moment, penalty not given. Real Sociedad have the ball back in their own half.
Yeah, I would say, as you said, Xerxes looked up straight away to the referee as if like, oh no, that's going to be given. I think watching back possibly hit his hand, but it was more Kubo puts it in, it's headed on, and then is it more the bicep area? That he's actually puts both hands up to try and block the ball out of his face. It's possibly his left arm, but I think what the referee's saying is it's coming at him with too much pace, and the space between him and the ball isn't that much. Regardless of that, Sociedad are coming forward down the right hand side with Kubo looking to maybe get a goal before we go into the 15-minute half-time period. Plays it into the area off of Fernandez. Mazraoui tries to keep it in play, but it will be another corner for Sociedad. It just didn't fill you with confidence as soon as Xerxes looked up to the referee giving there. But another corner for Sociedad. If they can grab a goal before half-time, that'll be a real bonus for them and a real positive. But the delivery last time was poor.
Right, I mean, they got the header off. It's going to be an in-swinger. Anything can happen. You never quite know handballs in Europe. I think there's arguably less, even though I've criticised the referee for a couple of bad free kick decisions, I think there's less play acting, but handballs are more tricky.
Hubo puts it right on to the goalkeeper Onana, who palms it away, but the referee says there is a foul in the process. I'm going to assume on Onana, and United, to a degree, get away with one there. It was a strong palm away from the Cameroonian, but it was still in a dangerous area high on the left-hand side for Real Sociedad and United to defend, but it is a free kick just around where a goal kick would be taken for United. 2 minutes of the free have been played in added time. Looks like we're going in to half-time and a goal is strong, but United boot it long with Onana. They'll be looking to, of course, as Sociedad will try to, in the second half, get a goal to show Sociedad more than the Red Devils, as we will, as Rob said, next week go back to Old Trafford. That's where United will really probably be wanting to ensure they pick up a victory quickly. I said to you that Panathinaikos had turned it around. For Fiorentina, apologies. That third goal for the Italian side went to VAR. That was ruled out. Mulder's went to VAR, but that stood 3-0 for Mulder. There, Mazraoui gives away a free kick just inside the Sociedad half. As we're about to approach in the final few seconds of this first half. Sociedad have the ball on the left-hand side. Goes back to a guard into the middle. And Sociedad have the ball. All eyes on the referee for going into half-time, blowing the whistle. Has a look at his watch. I think both players for both teams are looking at him, and he does blow the half-time whistle. Chances for Manchester United, a really good one from Bruno Fernandes. The keeper stood tall. Sociedad have had a lot of the ball, haven't really penetrated the Red Devils so far. At half-time, it's Real Sociedad 0, Manchester United 0.
Half time at the Real Arena. It's Real Sociedad 0, Manchester United 0. Real Sociedad have had all the possession but haven't really threatened. Turrientes missing the target from just outside the box, the closest that they've came. United haven't exactly been banging away at the door, but they've been better in the final third. Garnacho and Dorgu early shots. The best chance came when Fernandez teed up by Dolop, blocked first time the edge of the box. Xerxes blocked in the follow-up, and Dallo had a late header straight at the keeper. 0-0. Time at the Real Arena. It's Real Sociedad 0, Manchester United 0. Real Sociedad have had all the possession but haven't really threatened. Turrientes missing the target from just outside the box, the closest that they've came. United haven't exactly been banging away at the door, but they've been better in the final third. Garnacho and Dorgu early shots. The best chance came when Fernandez teed up by Dolop, blocked first time the edge of the box. Xerxes blocked in the follow-up, and Dallo had a late header straight at the keeper. 0-0. Half time at the Real Arena. It's Real Sociedad 0, Manchester United 0. Real Sociedad have had all the possession but haven't really threatened. Turrientes missing the target from just outside the box, the closest that they've came. United haven't exactly been banging away at the door, but they've been better in the final third. Garnacho and Dorgu early shots. The best chance came when Fernandez teed up by Dolop, blocked first time the edge of the box. Xerxes blocked in the follow-up, and Dallo had a late header straight at the keeper. 0-0. Half time at the Real Arena. It's Real Sociedad 0, Manchester United 0. Real Sociedad have under all the possession but haven't really threatened. Turrientes missing the target from just outside the box, the closest that they've came. United haven't exactly been banging away at the door, but they've been better in the final third. Garnacho and Dorgu early shots. The best chance came when Fernandez teed up by Dollop, blocked first time the edge of the box. Zirtzi blocked in the follow-up, and Dallo had a late header straight at the keeper. 0-0. Off time at the Real Arena. It's Real Sociedad 0, Manchester United 0. Real Sociedad have under all the possession but haven't really threatened. Turrientes missing the target from just outside the box, the closest that they've came. United haven't exactly been banging away at the door, but they've been better in the final third. Garnacho and Dorgu early shots. The best chance came when Fernandez teed up by Dollop, blocked first time the edge of the box. Zirtzi blocked in the follow-up, and Dallo had a late header straight at the keeper. 0-0. Off time at the Real Arena. It's Real Sociedad 0, Manchester United 0. Real Sociedad have under all the possession but haven't really threatened. Turrientes missing the target from just outside the box, the closest that they've came. United haven't exactly been banging away at the door, but they've been better in the final third. Garnacho and Dorgu early shots. The best chance came when Fernandez teed up by Dollop, blocked first time the edge of the box. Zirtzi blocked in the follow-up, and Dallo had a late header straight at the keeper. 0-0. Off time at the Real Arena. It's Real Sociedad 0, Manchester United 0. Real Sociedad have under all the possession but haven't really threatened. Turrientes missing the target from just outside the box, the closest that they've came. United haven't exactly been banging away at the door, but they've been better in the final third. Garnacho and Dorgu early shots. The best chance came when Fernandez teed up by Dollop, blocked first time the edge of the box. Zirtzi blocked in the follow-up, and Dallo had a late header straight at the keeper. 0-0. Off time at the Real Arena. It's Real Sociedad 0, Manchester United 0. Real Sociedad have under all the possession but haven't really threatened. Turrientes missing the target from just outside the box, the closest that they've came. United haven't exactly been banging away at the door, but they've been better in the final third. Garnacho and Dorgu early shots. The best chance came when Fernandez teed up by Dollop, blocked first time the edge of the box. Zirtzi blocked in the follow-up, and Dallo had a late header straight at the keeper. 0-0. Off time at the Real Arena. It's Real Sociedad 0, Manchester United 0. Real Sociedad have under all the possession but haven't really threatened. Turrientes missing the target from just outside the box, the closest that they've came. United haven't exactly been banging away at the door, but they've been better in the final third. Garnacho and Dorgu early shots. The best chance came when Fernandez teed up by Dollop, blocked first time the edge of the box. Zirtzi blocked in the follow-up, and Dallo had a late header straight at the keeper. 0-0. Off time at the Real Arena. It's Real Sociedad 0, Manchester United 0. Real Sociedad have under all the possession but haven't really threatened. Turrientes missing the target from just outside the box, the closest that they've came. United haven't exactly been banging away at the door, but they've been better in the final third. Garnacho and Dorgu early shots. The best chance came when Fernandez teed up by Dollop, blocked first time the edge of the box. Zirtzi blocked in the follow-up, and Dallo had a late header straight at the keeper. 0-0. Off time at the Real Arena. It's Real Sociedad 0, Manchester United 0. Real Sociedad have under all the possession but haven't really threatened. Turrientes missing the target from just outside the box, the closest that they've came. United haven't exactly been banging away at the door, but they've been better in the final third. Garnacho and Dorgu early shots. The best chance came when Fernandez teed up by Dollop, blocked first time the edge of the box. Zirtzi blocked in the follow-up, and Dallo had a late header straight at the keeper. 0-0. Off time at the Real Arena. It's Real Sociedad 0, Manchester United 0. Real Sociedad have under all the possession but haven't really threatened. Turrientes missing the target from just outside the box, the closest that they've came. United haven't exactly been banging away at the door, but they've been better in the final third. Garnacho and Dorgu early shots. The best chance came when Fernandez teed up by Dollop, blocked first time the edge of the box. Zirtzi blocked in the follow-up, and Dallo had a late header straight at the keeper. 0-0. Off time at the Real Arena. It's Real Sociedad 0, Manchester United 0. Real Sociedad have under all the possession but haven't really threatened. Turrientes missing the target from just outside the box, the closest that they've came. United haven't exactly been banging away at the door, but they've been better in the final third. Garnacho and Dorgu early shots. The best chance came when Fernandez teed up by Dollop, blocked first time the edge of the box. Zirtzi blocked in the follow-up, and Dallo had a late header straight at the keeper. 0-0. Half time at the Real Arena. It's Real Sociedad 0, Manchester United 0. Real Sociedad have had all the possession but haven't really threatened. Turriente's missing the target from just outside the box, the closest that they've came. United haven't exactly been banging away at the door, but they've been better in the final third. Garnacho and Dorgu early shots. The best chance came when Fernandez teed up by Dollop, blocked first time the edge of the box. Zirtzi blocked in the follow-up, and Dallo had a late header straight at the keeper. 0-0. Half time at the Real Arena. It's Real Sociedad 0, Manchester United 0. Real Sociedad have had all the possession but haven't really threatened. Turriente's missing the target from just outside the box, the closest that they've came. United haven't exactly been banging away at the door, but they've been better in the final third. Garnacho and Dorgu early shots. The best chance came when Fernandez teed up by Dollop, blocked first time the edge of the box. Zirtzi blocked in the follow-up, and Dallo had a late header straight at the keeper. 0-0. Half time at the Real Arena. It's Real Sociedad 0, Manchester United 0. Real Sociedad have had all the possession but haven't really threatened. Turriente's missing the target from just outside the box, the closest that they've came. United haven't exactly been banging away at the door, but they've been better in the final third. Garnacho and Dorgu early shots. The best chance came when Fernandez teed up by Dollop, blocked first time the edge of the box. Zirtzi blocked in the follow-up, and Dallo had a late header straight at the keeper. 0-0. Half time at the Real Arena. It's Real Sociedad 0, Manchester United 0. Real Sociedad have had all the possession but haven't really threatened. Turriente's missing the target from just outside the box, the closest that they've came. United haven't exactly been banging away at the door, but they've been better in the final third. Garnacho and Dorgu early shots. The best chance came when Fernandez teed up by Dollop, blocked first time the edge of the box. Zirtzi blocked in the follow-up, and Dallo had a late header straight at the keeper. 0-0. Half time at the Real Arena. It's Real Sociedad 0, Manchester United 0. Real Sociedad have had all the possession but haven't really threatened. Turriente's missing the target from just outside the box, the closest that they've came. United haven't exactly been banging away at the door, but they've been better in the final third. Garnacho and Dorgu early shots. The best chance came when Fernandez teed up by Dollop, blocked first time the edge of the box. Zirtzi blocked in the follow-up, and Dallo had a late header straight at the keeper. 0-0. Half time at the Real Arena. It's Real Sociedad 0, Manchester United 0. Real Sociedad have had all the possession but haven't really threatened. Turriente's missing the target from just outside the box, the closest that they've came. United haven't exactly been banging away at the door, but they've been better in the final third. Garnacho and Dorgu early shots. The best chance came when Fernandez teed up by Dollop, blocked first time the edge of the box. Zirtzi blocked in the follow-up, and Dallo had a late header straight at the keeper. 0-0. Half time at the Real Arena. It's Real Sociedad 0, Manchester United 0. Real Sociedad have had all the possession but haven't really threatened. Turriente's missing the target from just out. Early shots. The best chance came when Fernandez teed up by Dollop, blocked first time the edge of the box. Zirtzi blocked in the follow-up, and Dallo had a late header straight at the keeper. 0-0. Half time at the Real Arena. It's Real Sociedad 0, Manchester United 0. Real Sociedad have had all the possession but haven't really threatened. Turriente's missing the target from just outside the box, the closest that they've came. United haven't exactly been banging away at the door, but they've been better in the final third. Garnacho and Dorgu early shots. The best chance came when Fernandez teed up by Dollop, blocked first time the edge of the box. Zirtzi blocked in the follow-up, and Dallo had a late header straight at the keeper. 0-0. Half time at the Real Arena. It's Real Sociedad 0, Manchester United 0. Real Sociedad have had all the possession but haven't really threatened. Turriente's missing the target from just outside the box, the closest that they've came. United haven't exactly been banging away at the door, but they've been better in the final third. Garnacho and Dorgu early shots. The best chance came when Fernandez teed up by Dollop, blocked first time the edge of the box. Zirtzi blocked in the follow-up, and Dallo had a late header straight at the keeper. 0-0. Half time at the Real Arena. It's Real Sociedad 0, Manchester United 0. Real Sociedad have had all the possession but haven't really threatened. Turriente's missing the target from just outside the box, the closest that they've came. United haven't exactly been banging away at the door, but they've been better in the final third. Garnacho and Dorgu early shots. The best chance came when Fernandez teed up by Dollop, blocked first time the edge of the box. Zirtzi blocked in the follow-up, and Dallo had a late header straight at the keeper. 0-0. Half time at the Real Arena. It's Real Sociedad 0, Manchester United 0. Real Sociedad have under all the possession but haven't really threatened. Turriente's missing the target from just outside the box, the closest that they've came. United haven't exactly been banging away at the door, but they've been better in the final third. Garnacho and Dorgu early shots. The best chance came when Fernandez teed up by Dollop, blocked first time the edge of the box. Zirtzi blocked in the follow-up, and Dallo had a late header straight at the keeper. 0-0. Half time at the Real Arena. It's Real Sociedad 0, Manchester United 0. Real Sociedad have under all the possession but haven't really threatened. Turriente's missing the target from just outside the box, the closest that they've came. United haven't exactly been banging away at the door, but they've been better in the final third. Garnacho and Dorgu early shots. The best chance came when Fernandez teed up by Dollop, blocked first time the edge of the box. Zirtzi blocked in the follow-up, and Dallo had a late header straight at the keeper. 0-0. Half time at the Real Arena. It's Real Sociedad 0, Manchester United 0. Real Sociedad have under all the possession but haven't really threatened. Turriente's missing the target from just outside the box, the closest that they've came. United haven't exactly been banging away at the door, but they've been better in the final third. Garnacho and Dorgu early shots. The best chance came when Fernandez teed up by Dollop, blocked first time the edge of the box. Zirtzi blocked in the follow-up, and Dallo had a late header straight at the keeper. 0-0. Half time at the Real Arena. It's Real Sociedad 0, Manchester United 0. Real Sociedad have under all the possession but haven't really threatened. Turriente's missing the target from just outside the box, the closest that they've came. United haven't exactly been banging away at the door, but they've been better in the final third. Garnacho and Dorgu early shots. The best chance came when Fernandez teed up by Dollop, blocked first time the edge of the box. Zirtzi blocked in the follow-up, and Dallo had a late header straight at the keeper. 0-0. Half time at the Real Arena. It's Real Sociedad 0, Manchester United 0. Real Sociedad have under all the possession but haven't really threatened. Turriente's missing the target from just outside the box, the closest that they've came. United haven't exactly been banging away at the door, but they've been better in the final third. Garnacho and Dorgu early shots. The best chance came when Fernandez teed up by Dollop, blocked first time the edge of the box. Zirtzi blocked in the follow-up, and Dallo had a late header straight at the keeper. 0-0. Half time at the Real Arena. It's Real Sociedad 0, Manchester United 0. Real Sociedad have under all the possession but haven't really threatened. Turriente's missing the target from just outside the box, the closest that they've came. United haven't exactly been banging away at the door, but they've been better in the final third. Garnacho and Dorgu early shots. The best chance came when Fernandez teed up by Dollop, blocked first time the edge of the box. Zirtzi blocked in the follow-up, and Dallo had a late header straight at the keeper. 0-0. Half time at the Real Arena. It's Real Sociedad 0, Manchester United 0. Real Sociedad have under all the possession but haven't really threatened. Turriente's missing the target from just out. Well, a warm welcome along back to our coverage of the action taking place at the Real Arena. It is, of course, Real Sociedad against Manchester United. 0-0 at the break, and maybe the chances reflected that scoreline. There weren't many. United could argue they had the better of them, and maybe they could have scored. Certainly the Fernandez chance, first time volley, sliding volley, 8 yards out, was blocked. And then, of course, a bit of pinball afterwards, didn't fall United's way. And, of course, there was the late Dallo header. Matches resumed. No changes at the interval, by the way, as Real Sociedad try and offer more of a threat. Working out which team it would suit more at half-time. A goalless draw. Looking at their away record of Real Sociedad, you'd say it'd be Manchester United, but I don't know, because they've missed the better chances. What limited chances there've been, United have missed the better of them. They might be more disappointed.
You'd have to say so, wouldn't you? Just because, as you say, you'd be disappointed that if you said that Bruno Fernandes is going to have a strike in almost the 6-yard box and that you're going to get a good strike from Garnacho, that you'd have at least taken one of them. But just looking and going, maybe that's momentum you can build upon. And again, with taking possibly, to play devil's advocate, as you said, that 0-0 draw, if it finishes like this into the second leg at Old Trafford in a week's time, well, who does that favour? You'd usually say whoever's playing as a home side in that second leg. And as you said, Sociedad on poor away form, but then you look and go, well, United haven't been setting the world alight at home either. So I think both teams will be really wanting to take the advantage into next week this evening.
Yeah, Real Sociedad have lost their last 5 in La Liga away from home. The one victory that they've had in the last 6 has actually come in the Europa League. They won at Midtjylland 2-1. That's an away success, but it's a rare one. And whether you suggest United are at a level above Midtjylland is another question, because United have got plenty of problems this season. They're on the defence at the moment. Kubo has it on the left, on the right. Gets a cross in towards the near post. And Yazabal appeared to have the run on the defenders. I don't know whether he just couldn't reach it. It's blocked away by Yoro. A combination of Yoro and De Ligt is behind for a corner. Great ball in from Kubo. It was Yoro who got the touch in, just too far ahead of Yazabal.
Yeah, really good attack there though from Sociedad. The ball's going into a good area, and just sometimes that's all you can ask from. Bright start so far in the second half, and Sociedad looked good there. I thought it was gone out for a corner. Looks like it's gone out for a goal kick. I thought it was a corner, but United have the ball back.
Yeah, a couple of goals have gone elsewhere, incidentally. Well, I'll go through the scores now. United have just given it away. So Real Sociedad are back on the attack with Kubo down the right. Can't quite make it work this time. Fernandez tries to set Dorgu away, but the recovery from Elizondo. Elizondo sliding in has cleared the ball into touch. Maybe Dorgu has trod on him, but it's entirely accidental. Yeah, he has just caught him trying to land, but he's trying to hurdle the challenge. So you can't really play put much blame on Dorgu. He's back on his feet. United have it back. Yeah, just a reminder of the scores. Most of the second half has started. Come back to that because Elizondo is back on his feet. United are trying to attack. Now, Højlund is getting on the goal side of, I think that was Zubeldia. It's a free kick given. A yellow card given to the Real Sociedad defender. United are furious because they didn't play the advantage. And that was better play from Højlund. He held it up and then he's turned his man and he's getting pulled back. There's no chance it's a red card because the defenders are in the way. But he's getting pulled back by Zubeldia. But Bruno Fernandes was furious that the referee didn't play the advantage.
Yes, because watched it back at first. It's a pass. It's actually a great hold-up play first and foremost from Højlund. He passes it back, then he doesn't need to Xerxes. He plays it first time to Garnacho, who from the little replay we've seen looked onside to me, and that was a chance one-on-one with the goalkeeper. Yes, a little bit wider than maybe you'd want, but as you said, I think maybe the referee just needs to let the game breathe a second there, because that was a chance for United, if not.
Yeah, Højlund was still on his feet, and Dalot was in space on the right. That was the problem for United, or the problem as they saw it. We've got Dalot crossing into the box in a good position. So eventually I'll go through those latest scores, but United have a free kick in the 50th minute. It's within shooting range. Obviously, it could also cross the option. It's a fraction on the far side. The wall is level with the edge of the D. So it's a good 20 yards out. And Fernandes has gone for goal, but it's wide of the target. Looked as though Romero had it covered, in fairness to him. And it was well wide of the target, in truth. Real Sociedad given the ball away, though, and Xerxes played it in behind. Can Dorgu get there? He is onside. Elizondo is playing catch-up, and slowly it's just lofted up to the far post. Poor cross in the end. It's only headed to Fernandes on the edge of the box. Works it forward to Xerxes. Back heel to Dorgu. He's gone low towards the far post. It's all the way through to Garnacho. Fires it into the side netting. And that's a big miss, really. You wouldn't expect him to score necessarily, but if he's put it into the near side netting, that's an absolute waste. And United looking dangerous again.
Really good back heel from Xerxes, then into his wing back. Dangerous ball across the face of goal. And I think, as you say, from Garnacho, what you would see is maybe watching it back as well. As you say, maybe if he just plays it across the face of goal again, Højlund might have been there to tap it in, even if it was going in. But Garnacho, I think it's a... I'm not trying to say he's got to pick out the top corner from that, but I think it's a waste that he hasn't at least tested the goalkeeper and forced the corner at the minimum. So should I think get away with one there. When United come forward and get in the final third, I think they look dangerous. I just think Sociedad have done well containing them to the chances they've had. I think in the second half, though, Højlund is in Xerxes looking very lively.
Real Sociedad under a little bit of pressure with Garnacho trying to hunt out a mistake. Enough defenders back, although it's a loose pass this time from Elizondo out towards Kubo. It's into touch, throw into Manchester United on the halfway line. Quick run through the scores then. They're all second halves now. Alkmaar 1, Tottenham 0. FCSB 0, Lyon 1, Fenerbahce 1, Rangers 2, and of course goalless Real Sociedad, Manchester United, the game that we're doing. And those are the 4 Europa League games. And into the Conference League, Real Betis 1, Vitoria Guimaraes 1, FC Copenhagen 0, Chelsea 1. Chelsea taking the lead in the first minute after the restart. Molde still lead Legia Warsaw by 3 goals to 0. And the most goals of the evening so far, Panathinaikos 2, Fiorentina 2. The Greek side had been 2-0 up. Fiorentina did have a third goal chalked off though. But yeah, the one goalless game, Lewis, is ours, but it's early promise for the visiting side so far.
You would say so, wouldn't you? You'd say that if it continues like this, that we won't be the game that's the only goalless game in the early kickoffs. I just think United... Again, let's say Sociedad take the lead, whether it's a good chance or a half chance. Again, Ruben Amorim will probably sitting there looking at the side and going, how have you not taken the lead here? You've had chances. We've put pressure on him. Again, he's a manager under a lot of pressure and scrutiny right now. I think if you're Ruben Amorim, you sit there and go, well, when the players don't put the ball in the back of the net from chances that we've created, there's only so much a coach can do. But as you said, positive signs for the Red Devils in the second half.
Just a quick look at the benches, just in case you know your squads. The options available for Real Sociedad, I mentioned them first because it was A, they're the home side, but B, they've had all the possession without really threatening. As Garnacho picks it up, runs into a bit of traffic. Barrena with a challenge, it's illegal, but the loose ball's gone to Dalot. He's put an early cross in. It's headed away by Elizondo. Dorgo should keep it alive. Support coming from Mazraoui. Now Casemiro floats it back over to the right, and Dalot trying to switch the play and stretch the defence. Garnacho and Dalot keeping it together. To be fair, keeping it between themselves. To be fair, Real Sociedad defended well. Ball into the box. Fernandez, flag stayed down. Lays it back to Garnacho. Shot comes in. No power in it. It's hit the target and has forced a save of sorts. Not the hardest save by any stretch, but I have to admit, I thought Bruno Fernandes looked offside.
Yeah, he did look offside. We haven't seen a replay yet, but just on first glance, it did look offside for the United skipper. But regardless of that, let's just go with that he was onside. It was a good piece of hold-up play from Fernandes, and as well a good ball back into Garnacho. As you said, unfortunately, watch it back here now. Is ball over the top from Casemiro. He is onside. It's Fernandes. Quite far. He did look offside. I'd have to agree with you, Rob, there, but a good ball back in them from Dalot. Garnacho, he does take a deflection, but at the same time, he doesn't hit it with really any power. He's a little bit off balance. His feet are a little bit tangled together as well. Not the cleanest of strikes, but once again, positive signs for the visitors.
Turn on the halfway line, Casemiro. Bruno Fernandes rather wants a free kick. He doesn't get it. And it's a switch of play from Real Sociedad. Kubo has it, one-on-one with Dorgo, going inside, left-footed, thinking about a shot, runs into a bit of traffic. He's half-tackled by Xerxes. That's going to go behind for a corner kick. He has looked dangerous up to a point, Kubo, without necessarily delivering the final ball, but he has won his side a corner. I'll go through the bench. Traore, Martin Bakker, Aaron Buru, Maurice Carrena, Gomez, Abelia, Marrero, Ola Sagasti, Marin, Oscarson, Lopez. A number of those players, of course, started the Barcelona defeat. Yellow card given to Bruno Fernandes for talking his way into trouble. He felt he should have had a free kick a few seconds ago, didn't get it. He's still talking. This is where he'll rub players, people up the wrong way by the constant questioning of the referee. I think he's got a case. I don't think the referee's had a good game as Kubo whips it in towards the, underneath the crossbar. It's punched away, might have been headed away. Another cross comes back in from Barrena. This time it's cleared. Dalot feeds it forward to Xerxes. Dorgu is the man furthest ahead. If he can square it, Garnacho's in space. It was a heavy touch. It's allowed Munoz to get across. Dorgu's then pushed Munoz to get the ball, and so it'll be a free kick. Dorgu can't believe it. He did look as though he'd given him a bit of a push, but again the counter, the quick transition is looking more in favour of United than Real.
It is, it really is, and again, what I will say is he does give Dorgu does give him a bit of a push, but at the same time gives him a push, and he takes a few steps away. Looks like he's going to lose his footing, and then goes down. So I know it's still in the phase of play, isn't it? And that's why it's being given. It is a push, but also you would say that Xerxes, if he maybe just holds that for a second, that ball gets his head up. Maybe he could have played into Garnacho first time instead of Dorgu, and then trying to play it at the back post. The Argentine was making a really good run. United, but just as you say with transition, that's where they look ever so dangerous, and they might have a chance coming forward now.
Casemiro with a great ball to Dalot, who has done well to control it. Wasn't easy. Now Garnacho, right edge of the area, goes into the box, pulls it back to Xerxes, running onto it low. It's hard. It's beaten the keeper. I think the keeper's made a mistake. It's in the back of the net. I say made a mistake because it's quite central, the shot in the end. Garnacho has an assist. Xerxes has a finish. The scoreboard hasn't ticked over yet, but I don't see how this is going to get disallowed. Real Sociedad 0, Manchester United 1.
I will say, I think it's a goal that's been coming in these just over 12 minutes in the second half. The transition's been great from United, and what I would say is credit to Garnacho. I feel like, myself included, have been quite harsh and critiqued him a lot this season in terms of trying to just get your head up, try and be less selfish, play the ball, the right cross, the right pass into your teammates. He does ever so well there, great overlapping run from his wing back Delors, and he plays a great ball across the edge of the area into Xerxes. As you say, watching it back, it is a terrible goalkeeping mistake. Xerxes, if anything, it's right in the centre of the net of his strike. Yes, it curls a little bit, but the goalkeeper, Myra, is terrible keeping from the Spaniard in goal. You just watch it back. I don't know if he almost instantly, his body weight goes to the left, thinking that Xerxes is going to try and curl it into the right bottom of the goal, the left of the goalkeeper, and then he can't turn back. But regardless, you've got to sometimes wait maybe for the striker to strike the ball and see where he's going. You don't know if Xerxes give him the eyes. Great goal and build up from United, but poor keeping, as you'd have to say, as you said, Rob, from the Sociedad number 1.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's terrible keeping. It's not quite of the, I don't know if you remember the Morgan Gibbs-White goal that Onana let. Drilled it down the middle and he sort of leaning the wrong way. I mean, he's sort of diving to his right, but he's diving to his right and doesn't meet the halfway point. I think he's got it all wrong. I don't know if there was another runner that dragged him near the near post. I really don't know. Because I would have thought the first thing to do is get yourself in a central position when the cross is pulled back to the D. But, you know, I'm not a professional keeper. It's just my thought process. He looked to be in the wrong position. And, well, Manchester United won't care. Xerxes definitely won't care. It's a bit of a long time between drinks for him. That's a good switch of play from Xerxes as well. Dalot is on the overlap. He thought about a shot right at the box. He slipped as he tried to cross. That's not done him any favours. 2 or 3 United players are now out of position as Real Sociedad try and clear. I did mention the Manchester United bench, the Real Sociedad bench. I think they're turning to it momentarily. The United bench is a lot thinner. The options available to Amorim, Amas, Collier, Eriksson, Heaven, Harrison, Lindelof and me. So again, it's the youngsters dominating it, obviously. 1 or 2 exceptions. Lindelof and Eriksson stick out. And, well, Lenny Yoro's been dragged down by Barani. And that'll be a free kick to Manchester United. Hour gone, and it looks as though... Well, obviously the goal's only just gone in as well, but it looks as though Real Sociedad are going to be the first to blink. Ball down the channel. Højlund gives chase. It's actually decent pace shown by Zubeldia, and he manages to hook it clear. Also find a teammate, so Real Sociedad have it back. No surprise for me, anyway, that the home side are making a change.
I think they're in need of it, aren't they? I don't think they've started the second half with any positivity. They haven't looked... impressive, at least in the first half, when they knocked the ball around. I think they looked quite confident, looked in control. Yes, as you said, in the first half, they didn't really get into the final third and make some passes, but they were very much in control of the game. Very well won the ball there by Xerxes, and again, United come forward in the transition.
Fernandez it is going through the middle, slips it in towards, well, Dorgu and Højlund almost running the same path. It's half blocked, almost on Garnacho. He's thinking about pulling the trigger, but it's a sliding clearance from Munoz, and then it's picked up by Real Sociedad. Good diagonal out towards Ayazabal, who's got round Mazraoui, stayed on his feet. He's then offloaded. Surely no advantage. Real Sociedad might think they could have a free kick. They didn't get it. All of a sudden the referee's terrible for both teams, because it did look as though Mazraoui pulled Oyarzabal back, and you'd think that might be a yellow card. Bring it loose in a moment because Dorgu has it up the pitch for Manchester United, although they're slowing it back, going back towards the halfway line. I don't know if I'm being overly critical of the referee, but I don't like some of the decisions he's made.
I'd have to agree. I don't think he's having the greatest night. He's a referee this evening. Some decisions are just being a little bit soft. I don't think the referees these days are always helped by the players and their reactions, but then at the same time, that's not the players' fault if they can get an edge. I think it's a referee maybe trying to set a standard and trying to go around and say, right, I don't believe you've gone down, you've been clipped or anything like that. The one that really sticks out in my mind was the Hoyland one that was given as a foul and a transition opportunity for United. That was given, I think that was poor. And I just think right now, yeah, maybe for both teams it's just that evening itself out, but here come United once again with Fernandes.
Yeah, it seems to be in a bit more advanced position. Ball to Hoyland, just in the D. He's got plenty around him. Can he get the shooting opportunity? He's found Garnacho. Touch, takes it wide, drives it low into the side netting once again. A tougher chance maybe because a cross goal might have been blocked, but still, you always think it's a waste when it's into the near side netting. Hoyland's done well to hold it up. Maybe a first-time shot would have been the option.
You spoke about in the first half from that Fernandes chance and then it ricocheted into Xerxes and Dorgu. Very similar there. I have to say, if he takes that first time, I think that's a really good opportunity, but because he takes a touch, it slows it down. And now coming up for Sociedad, it will be a triple change. Fernandes coming off and Oscarson coming off, number 7 off, number 9 on. Waiting for the third substitution confirmation. Number 22, Torrentes coming off, and number 28, Marin coming on. I just didn't quite catch the first substitution who was on or off for Sociedad, but it is a triple change.
Rangers might have a third goal. VAR's taking a look. I thought they were looking about 5 minutes ago, so it could be a contentious one, that one. But at the moment, Rangers could be 3-1 up. A third goal is getting VAR checked. Of course, we know now there are no goalless games because Manchester United have the lead in this one. Panathinaikos could have been 3-2 down, but for VAR, they're now 3-2 up. Tete has made it 3. Real Sociedad on the attack down the left-hand side. Cross comes in, doesn't beat the man at the near post. And now the swift counter is on. Played out by Casemiro towards Garnacho. Great challenge going in from Agad. Needed to. Maybe the pass worked in his favour. I like the idea. It's only an idea that's going to work if the forward gets there first. But it just gave Agurd a chance, and Agurd got the ball back. 64 minutes ticking over. Legia Warsaw might have pulled one back at Mulder. 3-0 down they were, just gone to 3-1. That Rangers' third goal doesn't appear to be on my scoreboard anymore, so VAR has ruled it out. Fenerbahce 1, Rangers 2. The latest, as Fernandes plays the ball over the top for Hoyland. He's under a bit of pressure. It's a bouncing ball that he can't quite control. It kind of held up on him. Again, there's contact, and the player who took it away from him wasn't the player that was kind of marking him. So Hoyland might feel he's been impeded again. A shot comes in. It's an attempt to go, and Nana, I think he lost his footing. He stood and was hopeful it was going wide of the post. It was. That's the most dangerous Sociedad have looked in the contest. The free shot from outside the D. Onana, does he look like he's interested in this one?
No, I don't think he didn't look confident, did he, as it was coming in. Sometimes you see keepers, when they know it's going wide, they almost just let it go wide, don't they? But you see a confident frame of goalkeeper. Onana, as you said, I don't know if it's a slip of the boot or anything like that, a bit of balance where he's offset. But it doesn't give confidence, and once again you said it in the first half, a lot of space just in front of that Manchester United penalty area. It's really easy to play that pass in there to Mendes, who went for the shot, and it was curling away. Maybe if he's 2 or 3 yards to his left hand side, it curls right in the bottom corner. Really good chance. I think it was poor defending from United. Would have been even poorer keeping if it goes in the back of the net there of Onana's goal. But United 1-0 up. I think they could probably do with a second to try and see this game out.
Just a confirmation of the changes. We mentioned there was 3. Elizondo, Torrentes and Baranecchia are the 3 that have gone off. Aaron Buru, Manin and Oscarson are the 3 that have come on. I think it was Marin's shot there, wasn't it, just moments ago. Real Sociedad on the attack again. Shot comes in, blocked right on the edge of the box, spins away wide of the target. So it's going to be a corner kick, though, to Real Sociedad, their 5th of the game. United have only had 2. But obviously pressure to a degree starting to mount up. You would think it ought to do, because they're trailing. And they've had a lot of possession without necessarily threatening a goal. Maybe that threat is about to change as the corner comes in and it's only partially cleared. As it coming together on the edge of the box. I think Real Sociedad were trying to go for the overhead kick through Marin. It was towed away from him. Now bringing it forward. He's pointing at the ball. Is Mendes. Garnacho's gone down. It's a free kick given to Manchester United. I mean, points at the ball, I guess, is always an indicator. He didn't get the ball. Replay. It's never easy. I don't necessarily envy referees, but that one, if he did touch the ball, he's had to hack through Garnacho's leg to get it.
Yeah, he has, hasn't he? And again, I think Garnacho maybe milking it a little bit sometimes. You see him go down, just quickly going back to the goal there. It's one of them. It's similar to when you see a tackle or a foul, I should say, and VAR have a look at it and you slow it down, and it's slowed down, and it's slowed down. That it looks worse, doesn't it? Every tackle and foul when it's a red card possibility. It's the same with that goal there. The keeping, every time you watch it, just gets worse and worse and worse. I think VAR having a look at this possibly as a referee just having a word in his ear. So we'll have a VAR potential check on our hands here, and the referee's going to go to the monitor, so we'll have to see.
This will be the penalty for Real Sociedad. It's the, I guess it was the attempted overhead kick, was it?
I think so. I think that's the one that they'll be going for, but I'm not sure. We've only seen half a replay really happen. Here we go. We'll see Fernandez's hand, but I think that would be very harsh if that's given.
This is going to get given. This is going to get given. I'll guarantee it. Because he's kind of leading with the arm, getting close to the defender and trying to block it. It's hit the arm. It's going to be a penalty. It is a penalty. They've confirmed the penalty. Again, he's not deliberately trying to do it, but you just know that those sort of penalties are going to get given. So it's a penalty kick to Real Sociedad. He's kind of jumping towards Aguerd with the arm up. The arm's got the ball right as Aguerd gets it. I don't think Real Sociedad are appealing for it. VAR's just looked at it and gone, do you know what, this is a... obviously, we didn't see that in the incident. I was thinking it was the attempted overhead kick. Maybe he was caught as he was trying it. It looks harsh, but I think those are the sort of pens that get given in Europe. I'm not saying that's because they're wrong. That's just what you cannot do. You can't get your arm up there.
100%, that's right. I think it's harsh, but because I'm not shocked that it's been given, I'd have to 100% agree. And Fernandez already on that yellow card for what he was, bickering to the referee about, bickering about that penalty. I think he's just got to be a bit careful, keep his cool as the United skipper. But Sociedad, after being 1-0 down, for a good 12-13 minutes or so, they've had a lot of chances in the second half of United. Penalty spot, chance to get an equaliser for the hosts.
Yeah, and obviously Anana's just been in a penalty shootout, didn't save one of them, so he's a bit out of practice. So Yazabal is the man who's going to take it. The game just going into the halfway through the 70th minute. Oyazabal with a chance to restore parity. He's taking his time, that is for sure. Up he steps and he's sent the keeper the wrong way. Real Sociedad barely deserve it, but they are back on terms. No doubt, and it was a handball. Maybe that will ignite a strong finish to the game, because they have been disappointing in the final third up to this point. Aguerd killed one just past the target. They've then converted a penalty. And Manchester United have been pegged back. We've got around about a quarter of the game to go, and it's game on. One apiece. Here's Lewis.
Cheers, Rob. As he said, really is game on now. First shot on goal was from the penalty spot, and it was a goal for Real Sociedad. In comparison, United have had 5. I know everyone loves a bit of expected goals. This isn't counting the penalty just yet, but only 0.19 for Sociedad, 0.95 for United. Could they come to rue the misses later on in this game? And all of our independent off-tube studio commentary, all of we're looking at right now, the pictures we're receiving. Saul and Bruno Fernandes, it was his handball. The skippers who gave it away. Of course, he had that big chance in the first half as well. I think, as Rob said, they've had a really good second half. I think not that the first half was bad or anything like that, but I do think the second half, the heat's just been turned up. I think think it's just being that extra, that tempo will be given now. I think the substitutions for Sociedad were really positive, really good. It's really given them almost that extra second wind to come forward. United just won a penalty. Have won a free kick, I should say, just inside their own half. So Sociedad fans absolutely bouncing this evening. They're loving it, getting that goal. Hopefully, you see the crowd, they're absolutely loving it. The Poznan, if you will, in the crowd. Maybe that can be motivation for the hosts or motivation for United to almost stick it to them. They've lost the ball, though, have United in their own half. Kubo, really good, quick feet there. He wanted a free kick. It would have been a soft one. I have to agree with the referee for the first time, probably this evening there. Quick throwing out by Onana into Delo. Slows it down. Fortunately, there was space for him, but there wasn't many red jerseys coming forward with him. Into Fernandes. Playing very deep, almost trying to be the orchestrator of the attacks. Delo on the right-hand side, Garnacho keeping the width. And again, I think, as you said, we spoke about the benches. You read them out. I'll come to Rob in a second as a long ball comes forward for Xerxes just in front of him. It'll trickle into the arms of the Sociedad keepers. The Sociedad have an absolutely packed bench. They've already made 3 substitutions. They've got 2 blocks, 2 subs left. Even if Amorim maybe wanted to make a change, you probably look at your bench and look at the injuries and possibly sit there and go, I don't know if I can make a change to bring an impact on unless it's a youngster, and that's really throwing them into it right now.
I mean, there's the argument if they're they're good enough, they're old enough. I mean, if you're never going to play, I mean, you're never going to know. I mean, you look at the options. Might be tired legs. I mean, things might not be working. Why not be afraid? I mean, if they're good enough to be in the squad. You know, you haven't thrown them in at the deep end and said, go and win us a game. It's like they're coming on to change. And, you know, to a degree, I could argue that he might have done that with certain players. Of course, Chino Ebo's not an option to him in Europe, is he? He's tested heaven. I mean, I thought Amas could have made an impact for the team. Given the fact that they didn't get a left back until January, he could have played a minute or 2, but United still haven't played him. He was playing pre-season. I mean, I don't know what he's thinking. Something's just looks a bit frustrated since the goal. Obviously, Real Sociedad have obviously upped the tempo. There's frustrations about the penalty. I can understand the frustrations. I wouldn't have given it, but I'm living in a different era where you could tackle people, etc. I don't think there was any deliberate intention there from Fernandes, but I know those are the sort of because there was a Xerxes handball, wasn't there, in the first half, which didn't get given. You can see why either would or wouldn't. You just know if you're kind of leaning that way with your arm, it's going to get given regardless. And I think United have been rattled. It's only been 5 minutes or so, but they look a little bit rattled. Maybe Real Sociedad are playing second fiddle in terms of possession now, because they've got a point, as it were. I know it's a knockout tie, but they've got a draw and they were trailing. They were on the front foot, having possession since the goal. It's not quite been the same. We're only talking a matter of minutes, so it's a tough one to work out.
We'll have to see how it does play out, as Rob said. We're in the latter stages now, just back to its 75 minutes, and forward comes Sociedad. Kubo puts the ball into the box, straight into the arms of Onana, and again, trying to quickly get his head up, look for players running forward, but Sociedad do get bodies back, and if anything, maybe just trying to calm it down. And as Rob said, they do look a little rattled, do United, a little bit of extra pep in the step of the Sociedad players, of course, that triple change, getting some fresh legs onto the field is always to be a bonus. Getting that equaliser, it's almost, as I said earlier, giving them a bit of a second wind and giving them that confidence to come forward. They're on the ball now, on the left-hand side, looking to come forward to Munoz. United have a lot of players back, everyone behind the ball, everyone is in the Manchester United half-bar. Nairo in goal, with a guard, looking to bring the ball out of his back line, out to his centre-back partner again. Now they're trying to slow it down, so shall we try and get back on the ball. If anything, I think they're the ones who right now could do with keeping this momentum up, even if they do lose the ball here and there. Try and just keep it on the heels of United. Out to Munoz with the goalkeeper on the left-hand side. Long ball forward, looks for Oscarson. Has to chest it down into his teammate. Bit heavy, and it goes out for a throw-in. Quickly then, elsewhere, scores Alkmaar still leading against Spurs. FC SB have got an equaliser against Lyon. Rangers are still leading 2-1 against Fenerbahce. It was 2 goals that were disallowed due to VAR. Still Dessers offside in both, so Rangers could have had 4. But instead, they only lead at 2 goals to 1 in Turkey. In the Conference League, Betis have taken a lead 2-1 at home. Chelsea have doubled the lead. Enzo Fernandez getting a goal there against Copenhagen. Molde 3-2 against Legia Warsaw, and Panathinaikos 3-2 against Fiorentina. It comes into the area, shot at goal, saved well by Onana. But as you said, Rob, right now the tide has really turned. Sociedad look full of confidence for me.
Yeah, and United look a little bit rattled. This is going back to the earlier point you made. It's a great strike from 25 yards out in the end from Mendes, and it's palmed away two-handed by Onana, but it's another corner. But again, it's that sort of vacant midfield area. Fernandez and Casemiro got sucked over, largely because Dorgo underhit a pass, and then they're trying to fight for the ball. But that's left all sorts of space in the centre of the pitch. The wing-backs or the wide men don't tuck in. The front three are largely downfield. There's going to be a change. I'm not sure how this is going to solve United's defensive quandaries. Eriksen is replacing Garnacho. I don't know whether that's 2 up top and 5 in midfield. Either way, it's not helping their defence, that's for sure. Corner to Real Sociedad.
Kubo with the outswinger, it gets onto a Sociedad head, but well over the bar, as Rob said, confirmation. Garnacho off Eriksen. And I'm going to have to agree with you. I would assume it would be a midfield three of Casemiro, Fernandez, Eriksen. Again, maybe to just try and stop the momentum of Sociedad, get 3 players in the middle of the pitch to keep the same numbers that Sociedad have. 3 midfielders, they're playing that 4-3-3, get 3 players in with the experience of Fernandez, Eriksen and Casemiro, and just say to Højlund and Xerxes, right, run the channels, keep it lively for us. We'll have to see how it plays out. Maybe Fernandez pushes up, we'll have to wait and see. But Onana boots it long, looking for Højlund. Goes over both his head and Dalot's, but then takes a deflection. Dalot wants in a throw-in. Højlund can't believe that the visitors don't have it. Munoz will be the man to take it. And Sociedad will look to build up. But as Rob said, we've already spoken about it a few times, that space in between the back 3 and the 2 defensive midfielders, and this evening's been Fernandez and Casemiro. So many spaces are popping up there. It wouldn't shock me if they get that space, a defender pushes up, for example, space opens up, and a chance comes that way for the hosts. There's still movement on the Sociedad bench. As I said, they've made 3 changes, and 1 block out of the 3 used. So they've got 2 blocks, 2 changes, so they don't need to make 2 at once. They can make 1, then maybe leave 1 for any injuries or fatigue that'll come into this game. Throwing taken by United. Fernandez first time pumps the ball up to Højlund. It falls for Xerxes. He tries to play back into Højlund. Maybe offside. The Dane. Yes, he was. So he didn't get the ball, but even if he would have, and a chance would have come for it, nothing would have mattered as he was offside. Quickly in Copenhagen, it is they've got a goal back. Chelsea 2, Copenhagen 1 there. So that makes it interesting, and it's unfortunate because Højlund's trying to get back on side. He's just involved in it. Do you think maybe Xerxes could have just taken a touch, wait for Højlund to get back on side, and then played in his strike partner?
Well, he had to. Otherwise, he's offside. I mean, it's quite obvious because Højlund was making the run to get the first ball. He's gone too far, so it should never have been a first-time ball from Xerxes. But I mean, I guess that's the problem with those 2 on the field now. If you had Garnacho, who's kind of a dribbler, a bit more pace, he can run off one of those 2. You wouldn't say either Højlund or Xerxes is super quick. Who's going to be the ball in behind kind of thing. I'm surprised he made that change actually, Bruno. Ruben Amorim, I beg his pardon. Change made by Real Sociedad. Kubo is going off. Becker is coming on. Now, I thought Kubo was lively, apart from the final ball. I'm going to have to say, I'm going to have to admit that. I thought he was causing problems down the United left for Mazraoui or Dorgu, but obviously didn't supply the final ball. That's not to say Becker will be any worse, but I thought that was a problem, his tricky feet, although I thought he could have been booked for going over as well. Because the referee waved away his appeals for a free kick. So, I mean, I want the moon on a stick. We'll see what Becker can do. Still very much anybody's. 10 minutes to go.
Casemiro looks to set free Dorgu on the left-hand side. And the Brazilian's ball is just overhit for Dorgu to get onto. Once again, United, that was a little good piece of play, quick passing inside their own third between Ericsson, Fernandes, Delo, and went into Casemiro, but then a poor ball from the former Real Madrid midfielder out to the left-hand side. Real Sociedad get the throw-in, but easily given away. Sorry, United easily win it. Fernandes in the middle, and it does look like more of a midfield free to try and see this game out. I say see it out, they're not winning, but maybe after the momentum that really swung the way of Sociedad after they scored that penalty, maybe United are thinking, right, let's maybe try and just slow them down, maybe take a 1-0 back to Old Trafford and go from there. They're on the ball with Mazraoui just inside the Sociedad half. De Ligt, he's pressed down by Oscarson, well, but gets his ball out to Yoro. Bring the ball into the Sociedad half. Fernandes into Ericsson. I think if anything out the midfield free, probably Fernandes would be the one to join further forward. He plays a good ball out to Dorgu, but unfortunately, say a good ball, it was a good opportunity just overhit. Dorgu all evening long has been up and down that left-hand channel trying to overlap where it was Garnacho in the first half, or Xerxes. I think when Garnacho was going off, he looked frustrated. I think more frustrated with himself because he had a lot of chances this game. He's had a good amount of shots. That one early on in the first half, straight at the goalkeeper. He's had a few out off of the side netting. I think he'll just be more upset and disappointed, frustrated himself with the Argentine that maybe he didn't get on the score sheet. Sociedad have it just inside the United half. Pump long, looking for the substitute Becker. First few touches, good defending there from Mazraoui. Just shuttles the ball out of play from the Sociedad substitute. It goes out of play for United goal kick. Becker nearly actually put it back off of Mazraoui, but he get good balance and made sure his feet didn't touch the ball there. And Onana will get the chance to get United back on the ball, about to hit the 83rd minute being complete. 7 minutes to go before we hit the 90th minute mark. Of course, we'll have stoppages for both goals and substitutions. Becker puts an early ball into the box, looking for Oscarson, goes for a strike at goal, just misses, maybe stabs it a little bit too much, stretching at it. But what I would say that Becker's come on and instantly added is, as you said, Kubo had a great game, but that was a great final ball from Becker.
Yeah, he's running the channels as well. He's got enough pace. Early ball in. It's weird how an early ball causes problems. Running onto it. Oscarson, I think, should do better. He's trying to hold off Yoro. I guess if he'd gone left-footed, it's probably an easier finish because it's not past him, as it were. So he's kind of got to get his right foot round it. He's got to do better. He's held Yoro off. Great ball in from Becker. That should really... they haven't threatened from open play, Real Sociedad, really. But that, obviously, big chance so late in the game. United haven't threatened really since they scored, which was around about the hour mark. So, although they've not been under the cosh, the traffic has sort of been going one way. I think looks like United were happy with a 1-0 victory. Now they're hanging on a little bit for a 1-1. Here comes Sociedad again.
They do come down the right-hand side. They want to get a second goal for themselves, the third goal in the game, and take a lead to Old Trafford. There's a team that have scored a third goal this evening. Rangers have taken a 3-1 lead against Fenerbahce, but of course they've had 2 ruled out for VAR, so let's not go too soon. Casemiro looks to play ball early for Højlund. It's picked off though. Xerxes tries to win it, then he just nips at the heels of the guard and gives away a free kick. A cheap one, unfortunately, for the Dutch forward. Again, I think Højlund, in comparison to the last few games, he's round the channels, he's been found a little bit better, but you're spot on there. I assume Højlund was probably looking at Dalot as that ball as Becker played the ball in. He was saying, look, if you'd have played that in, maybe I'd have had a 1-1 and we'd have took the lead early on in the first half. Early balls, as you said, can really cause chaos. United have the ball with Casemiro. Wins it in the middle. Fernandes sprays it out to Yoro. 1-2 between the centre-back and Ericsson. Again, I think as Rob said, Ericsson, he doesn't bring a lot defensively, but I think he's calmed it down to a degree, and perhaps Amarin's looked at his bench and gone, as you said, I do agree, if they're young enough, if they're good enough, it doesn't matter the age, if they've shown promise in the youth academy, which Hamas has had, and as you said, not many minutes for him. That shocked me this season. Forward comes Sociedad. Becker, another good ball into the box, a slip of the boot by De Ligt, and it nearly fell for Oscarson there. Gets out of jail, does the Dutch defender. But Sociedad still coming forward. Sucic outside the area. I don't know if that's a shot or a cross he was trying to put into the area. Headed away by Yoro. Hoyland doesn't win it, but it falls for Xerxes. Fernandez on the ball. Heels being absolutely bitten at there. Casemiro takes a bit of a chance there, but does well to turn away. And United have space coming forward. But since Garnacho's gone off, they don't have that runner in behind. Ericsson into Fernandez. Maybe a shooting opportunity. There's a lot of red jerseys in the same area. Dorgu has it just inside the penalty area. Now on the left-hand side. Back to Fernandez on the edge of the area. It's a poor ball. But the problem United had there, 3 players made a run central. I bring Robin in a second. I thought Dorgu had the ball there. Mazraoui gives away a foul against Becker. United had good runners, but there were 3 players making the same run. There was no space because they outnumbered each other.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a great break, was it? I mean, I thought it was a nice play from Casemiro. I mean, this is what you get from Casemiro. He's got all sorts of critics. I think it's the player playing alongside Casemiro that's the problem. That's my thought. Fernandez doesn't work there. You want him higher up the pitch, so somebody else. I mean, I don't know why Ugarte and Casemiro, at least they'll be a bit more solid. Changes are being made. Lindelof and Collier are coming on. Lenny Yoro is one of the players going off, I'm assuming, for Lindelof. And Collier will come on for Xerxes. Well, there you go. That might be freeing up Fernandez a little bit. I don't think Hoyland and Xerxes work as a twosome. Personally, they need that sort of variance. I'm not saying they're like-for-like players, but neither are quick. And even though they've got some height about them, they don't win that many aerial battles. So you don't want 2 players of that ilk. You need a variance. And, of course, Garnacho was the one. Now it's presumably Fernandez will get pushed a bit further forward. They're making changes as well, Real Sociedad, last 2 or 3 minutes. I'm not sure Ericsson was the right move in terms of slowing it down, because I think United have looked better when they've sort of swiftly transitioned, catching Real Sociedad on the break with a runner. He needs to be found, obviously, but they don't have that anymore, and I think that's playing into Real Sociedad's hands a bit, although of course we're into the dying embers of the game at the moment. So at the moment, 2 minutes of the 90 plus whatever stoppage time, 1-1. I don't want to say it's a just result, because I think United have had 1 or 2 more opportunities, but I think United would take 1-1 right now.
I'd have to agree with that. Substitution as well coming on for Sociedad. Sucic, he's had a few good chances, hasn't he, coming off number 24 or number 16. Olas Gasti coming on to the field. So another substitution in the middle as well for Sociedad, just trying to get more fresh legs on. They've used all 5 of their substitutions, and as Rob said, Xerxes off, Collier onto the field as well, maybe just trying to add legs into the middle. He's a player with great stamina. He'll get up and down for these last few minutes, just try and see it out. Of course, great technical abilities as well. United have the ball with Mazraoui. Out to Ericsson. And it does still look like, if anything, maybe Hoyland's up top of midfield 4, if you will, of Ericsson, Casemiro, Collier and Fernandez, with not many runners supporting Hoyland. Almost a one-man army up top. Quickly, Rangers scored a 3rd goal, and it was finally given their leading 3-1 in Turkey. Lyon have retaken their lead. They lead 2-1 against FCSB, and Alkmaar still holding, well, I say holding on, we're looking at the stats, they have been far superior to Spurs, but they're still leading 1-0 after that goal in the first half. We're about to go into past the 90th minute mark in most of the games. We're less than 30 seconds away from it being here. I can't see, not that I'm saying it'll be a minute or so, I can't see too much added time, maybe the normal 4 minutes or so, 3 minutes. We had 2 goals. We had the stoppage for the quick VAR check, and it was a very quick VAR check for the penalty for Sociedad. We've had substitutions, so I can't see too many minutes being added on. And at this point, there might be one big chance for either team. For one team, we'll have to see. But I think, as I'm seeing, there's a 5 minutes added time. Do you think both teams will be looking at, do we want to take one more risk and create a chance, get a goal, take a lead, or do we want to make sure, right, we've put a lot into this, let's maybe just go to Old Trafford, reset, we're both level there?
Well, I don't think they've any team's taken a risk at all. In many ways, Collier was actually playing in an advanced position, so it's like for like, really. Xerxes, the switch has been Ericsson coming to the left, not the right. Switch of play to Dorgu doesn't quite work. Dispossessed. Dorgu prevents the clearance throw in to the home side deep inside their own half. But United are defending in numbers and hit on the counter. That's when they've looked the most dangerous. Real have been a little bit susceptible to that. But I wouldn't say that was because they were taking chances, and so I'm not expecting the teams to take chances now. To be honest, into second minute of stoppage time, 1-1. There might be a chance, but I don't think it's because one team will be throwing the kitchen sink. That's my opinion. United have just won a free kick midway in the Real Sociedad half. I mean, I think they've actually looked all right, United, compared to other matches. You would say I think I've been disappointed with Sociedad because all that possession, not many chances, and they only really created once United had scored. And really, the best chance came after the penalty. So what were they doing with all that possession for so long? Nobody's going to say this United team is particularly solid defensively. So they've disappointed.
Ball in by Fernandes, headed away only as far as edge there for Ericsson, who slices it back into the penalty area. Lindelof keeps it alive. Collier tries to go for a strike at goal, but cleared away by Sociedad. A possible counter-attack on now for the host. Ball forward, Becker. It's him against Dorgu on that right-hand side. Pacey forward is Becker, but Dorgu's got back to help out. Now United have got players back. Casemiro nearly wins it. The ball goes in by Becker, cleared in the end by Casemiro, but Sociedad still have the ball with Becker on the right hand side. It's been a real bright involvement since coming on down the right hand flank for Kubo. I think as Rob said, nothing against Kubo, he's a very talented player, he's had a good game, but I think Becker's probably been better with that final ball and getting into those final spaces. We've almost played half of the 5 minutes of stoppage time. Sociedad have it on the left hand side, to come forward, trying to unlock this United defence. A late goal would send the fans home happy and give them a 2-1 advantage going into the second leg at Old Trafford next week. And we have it on the left-hand side with Munoz. He looks to float well into the area, headed away just outside of the penalty area though by Lindelof. Delors tries to clear it away. Højlund, don't know if he just slip of the foot or something there. It wasn't exactly into his feet, but doesn't come away with the ball, and so should have it back now. Munoz puts the ball into the box. Well wide, and goes wide for a Manchester United goal kick. 2 minutes of the 5 left to go. And when you do look at possession, I think in the second half United have had more possession, of course, have had the attempts on goal, outnumbering Sociedad 5-2. It's been 13-12 in sort of shots for United, and will United possibly look back at, of course, as you said, Sociedad had their second best chance from Oscarson after they scored the penalty. But do you think with, as I bring Rob in a second, ball over the top, Oskarson's got a chance now to make it 2-1, saved by Onana, really good save, but Sociedad still coming forward with Becker just inside the penalty box on the right hand side, dinks a ball into the box over all the Sociedad heads. Delors has it, fakes it. I thought he should just clear this, get it away, out of danger. Sociedad, as you said, that was a dangerous chance there. Fernandes plays it forward, but there's not a runner. Well, there is a runner, it is Ericsson. Maybe if that's a Garnacho or a Højlund, there's a chance there. Of course, Garnacho's been off the field for a while, but I will quickly ask you, the chances that United have had Fernandes, a few in the second half, do you think they will rule those misses later on?
Second leg, looking at their away record, do you think you'd fancy United would fancy the chances? Because you could argue they've had the better chances in this game, certainly for 70 minutes, and they've been away from home. Obviously, United don't have a great home leg either. They've just gone a little bit rattled, have United. They're all over the place, really, defensively. There's a nudge in the back from Mendes on Dorgu, who's gone down, collapsed, of course. Got the free kick. Them a clear cut, not massively clear cut. A couple of Garnacho ones. I mean, Fernandes is shooting into a crowd. It got blocked. These things happen. Garnacho's probably had the better chances in terms of open play. I wouldn't say they were particularly clear cut though. So I think 1-1 is probably a decent result.
Ball coming forward for Becker, who will be shepherded out by Mazraoui. He does take a touch, so unless the referee is going to give a foul against Becker, he's trying to get the crowd up for it. Mazraoui's gone down. We've played the 5 minutes of valid time. I can assume if Mazraoui would have shepherded that ball out, it would have been game over. I think Becker's gone down now. I don't know if he's trying to play that he wants a free kick. Mazraoui went down instantly. Now, I don't know if it's a halt of breath, but the referee, regardless of what he was going to give, has blown the whistle for full time. United took the lead through a Joshua Zirkzee goal, and from the penalty spot, Mikel Oyarzabal got an equaliser. We'll go into the second leg next week at Old Trafford, 1 apiece. It's finished Real Sociedad 1, Manchester United 1.